Kitty, open my door. Okay. The door's staying open. Here goes nothing. Howdy, howdy. Howdy, howdy, everybody. Hope everybody had a good weekend. I had a pretty good weekend. No complaints from me. Welcome, welcome. I need to have a lava lamp next to you on the stream. I don't own a lava lamp, but you know what? I might need to get one. Maybe I'll have to buy one from I knew I needed to buy one from Amazon, but I guess maybe it's not too late. It's gotta be a good one though, right? Like a real good one. Oh, it can't be. Oh, yeah, that's a good point because I use a green screen. That's a good point. Yeah, but I use a green screen, so like I can't use like a proper lava lamp, right? I mean, I could green screen in a lava lamp. Let's see what I can do. Gotta be low poly though, so that, because the issue is that if it's like too high poly, then like yeah, there we go. This is a good one. If it's too high poly and all that stuff, then I run into issues with like the kind of thing where like where it takes up too much bandwidth. We have a guest, but I want to grab something first before we do that. Let's see. Chroma key? There we go. Little invisible lava lamp. Just for YouTube. All right, let's bring on our first guests. We'll just put it in a little corner here. There we go. That's what we'll do. We want a lava lamp too. Okay, hold on. We'll get you guys a lava lamp. Lava lamp. We'll put it down here. How's that? A little lava lamp. Little floating lava lamp. There we go. Okay, let's bring up our first guest. All right, I got my notepad out. Talk to Dreamy OD. Dreamy, how's it going?
Yeah.
Dreamy,
Hello?
can you hear me? Hey, how's it going?
Okay, you froze up there. Yeah, you got any proof, man?
That the Earth is a globe?
A ball, buddy. A ball.
Do you know what a globe means? Because yeah, I have like lots of proof.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right, give me one piece.
Yeah, what kind of like would you trust video or pictures, or would you trust calculations? No. What kind of thing would you trust if you saw it?
Know.
Well, what kind of proof would you accept then? Because it just sounds like you're not willing to accept any proof.
Listen, man, all I'm asking, if you can definitively, if that's the right word, prove to me that the Earth 100% is round, bro. Bro, I will shave my head on your live, bro. I will shave my afro on your live, bro. I swear, bro.
Here, let me show you something. Ignore that. See this?
Bro, how'd you do that? What am I looking at here, man?
This is a video of Earth spinning as the Galileo probe recedes, going on its space mission.
Okay, what you don't think this is worse quality than the Avengers? You don't think I could just make that video myself? Well, not
this
myself.
This is from 1990.
Okay, so what?
So it was before like the whole CGI thing.
I don't have any proof that CGI didn't exist before then, and it was just hidden.
Okay, so you're not really willing to accept any proof, are you? Like any evidence that I present you'll just be like it's fake, right?
Saying, oh, dude, I could show you a video of Jesus Christ, and that'd have the same level of credence as what you just showed me. So no, I'm not being ignorant. I could show you a video of anybody and say
sounds like you're being kind of ignorant.
Buddy, you just showed me a video of a ball spinning in a circle. I could show you a video of Jesus playing basketball.
So what would you expect it to? What would you expect it to look like if you had film from 1990?
Something better than that, man.
Okay, so when I show you evidence, you're just like, nah, bro, that doesn't count. I want something else.
Exactly. So if I showed you a video of Jesus Christ,
what about an amateur rocket launch? What about an amateur?
Yeah, let's see.
Okay. One sec. Pull it up.
Just saying, man. Videos aren't. I mean that.
Well, this is an amateur rocket launch. So this is entirely private. Has nothing to do with government or whatever.
As far as you know, how can you prove that?
Because we know who did it.
Yeah, but how do you know they're not being paid by the government? You're just saying things.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not trying to be hard-headed, but you're literally just making claims.
I mean, you are being hard-headed though. So here's the. I'm just going to skip forward to the relevant part.
To get the truth, you have to, man. You're just taking this at face value.
So tell me which part's fake. Watch this video and tell me which part's fake.
Okay.
So there's the launch, right? There's the launch from another angle. There's the launch from another angle. There's the launch from another angle. Going to shift over to the angle from the rocket in just a second. I'll skip forward to it. Here's the launch from the rocket itself. It goes like this for a while. I'm going to speed it up so then we don't have to wait for too long. What?
How long is the video?
Like 2 minutes.
It took 2 minutes for it to get all the way up there?
56 miles up, yeah. Going Mach 4. And it's not even at full speed yet. Now it's at Mach, it is slowing down now. It's at Mach 3.59. The relevant part is in a moment. I'll just skip ahead to here. Right. Tell me now. Does this look curved to you?
It doesn't look like a ball, man.
Does it look curved to you?
You don't think a flat Earth could have a slight curvature?
I'm sorry.
That is not a ball, man. I'm not buying that. I'm sorry. That's not good. What am I looking at?
Is it fake now? Is that...
Buddy.
I'm sorry, is that
curved? I'm not saying it's fake or real, but this is honestly kind of... That's not a ball at all, man. What is it? I mean, look at the chat. Is it curved? This is not a... Yeah, is it curved? You're trying to prove the Earth is round, not slightly curved somewhere.
Okay, so so do you agree then that the Earth is curved?
No.
Oh, okay. So then what is this? What are we looking at?
I don't, buddy. Like I said, man. Like I'm not even trying to.
It's definitely curved.
I get it, man. But in science, you have to you have to dig in. You're not digging in. You're taking this random video that somebody made as proof.
This is not some random video. This is like a really well documented case from like Mesos.
All right, fact check this. Fact check any of what they did. Make sure
one of fact checking. What part needs fact check? I mean, you can watch like I skipped forward a little bit because it's kind of boring. But you can watch the entire launch from ground all the way up to 300,000 feet up in the air.
It doesn't prove anything.
Well, so which part is edited? Where's the editing?
I'm just saying. I mean, like it could be CGI, man. Like you're just taking this at face value. I could go on Sora AI and make a video of me doing 13 backflips and then force you to believe it.
Is this AI?
I don't know, but you don't either.
Proof is on you to demonstrate it. No, I mean, like, look, this is evidence.
No, you're trying to prove to me the Earth is round, man.
This is evidence. I know you don't like it, but this is evidence.
evidence that you have a video of a slightly curved thing that resembles Earth.
Yeah, this is evidence of the curvature of the Earth. Yeah,
you're not a scientist, man.
I mean, I am.
I mean, like, I'd pack it up if this is the evidence.
What my day job is, but like this is evidence. Do you want more? I can present you with more.
Yes, something better, man. I mean, something
better. Okay, so
something.
You won't accept any sort of visual information. It sounds like, right?
Because, I mean, buddy. I mean,
yeah. No, it's fine. Like, you can admit it. You can admit that you won't accept any sort of visual information.
I just said that. My what is it called? What's it called? Hold on. It's something receptors. What's it called? I don't know. It's like my information something receptors could be faulty, man, and I could be looking at something that's not real, man.
Oh, is that your standard evidence? Is that like your standard here? That like
no, show me some better evidence.
Well, no. I mean, you could just be a brain in a vat, right?
Hold on. Let me get my glasses.
Wait, you didn't have your glasses on and you couldn't see anything?
No, I can see. I was just really close to the phone. I probably was so loud. I'm further back now. I can see now.
So are you familiar with what a reciprocal zenith angle is?
Ooh, let me think. That's a big word. Hell no, man. What is that?
It's 3 words. So it's a surveying technique for figuring out essentially one way that you can use it is to figure out how far away you are from something. But it can also be used to show that the Earth is curved. And the reason this works...
I already said I don't care if it's curved. I need to prove it's a ball. I don't care if it's curved.
It shows that the gravitational force... It shows that the gravitational force curves with position. So it's not always straight down, it curves.
Yeah.
And so if that happens everywhere, then it's a ball, right?
Show me the math, if that's the right word.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, what the hell, man?
You asked me to show you the math, right?
Yeah, I'm reading it, man. I know what I'm looking at. Just wait.
Okay, so this is it's just a nice summary of reciprocal zenith angle calculations. This is a rough diagram of how it works. So you use local plumb. Local plumb is parallel to the gravitational force. So if the Earth were a sphere, then the gravitational forces would bow out as you go farther away from each other because you'd be pointing towards a different place, or you'd be pointing towards the same place from different locations. And then you can measure angles between 2 different locations using like surveying tools.
Wait. Do you have chat? Are you on your computer?
I am on my computer, yeah.
Could you look, what is this thing called, this tool?
It's called so this method is called measuring reciprocal zenith angles.
Okay, can you look up, is the measurement of reciprocal zenith angles 100%? And see what it says.
If you don't know what this is, I'm just going to explain it to you. Is that okay?
Well, yeah, but I need to make sure it's 100%.
So this is fairly straightforward geometry.
Yeah, but
there's not a whole lot.
Answer.
Yeah, it does.
Was that you're claiming it because it doesn't?
Well, you don't understand it. How can you make any claims about whether it does or doesn't?
It's 99.9% accurate, not 100. So you just made a false claim. So your evidence is void.
So if the Earth were flat, meaning that gravity always points straight down. If the Earth were flat, meaning that gravity always points straight down, then the reciprocal zenith angle could not be greater than 180 degrees. That's a mathematical fact. You understand that?
Okay, so fact isn't 100%? Fact isn't 100%?
Well, it's like mathematically true. Like you can derive this deductively using like the mathematical properties of, plane geometry.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I just looked it up and nowhere does it claim that this study can 100% prove anything.
This isn't a study, this is a measurement technique.
This measurement tool cannot confirm anything it's used on 100%.
I'm sure. Yeah. So what's your contention
so that
here?
It doesn't prove that the Earth is 100% round.
So what's your contention here? Which part do you think is wrong?
Your claim is that the Earth is round, but what you just showed me, it may or may not be round.
Which part do you think from this kind of measuring technique do you think can lead you to incorrect conclusions? Which part?
Based off the fact that the people who made it claimed it's not 100% accurate, so therefore using it does not lead to 100% accurate
There wasn't people
result.
who made it, so why are you lying to me?
Buddy, nobody's lying to you, bro. What do you mean nobody made it?
No, but this is not like a thing that somebody made. This is not a device.
It's a tool, a measurement tool.
It's not a tool. No, this is not a tool. It's a technique. It's a fact of geometry, actually.
So you think nobody made the technique? Nobody wrote down that equation right there. Nobody wrote that down ever.
There are no equations on this. There are no equations on this page that I'm showing you.
So who made that on the screen, man?
Oh, this is just a diagram made by somebody. I don't know who made it. It's just a diagram. Anybody can make a diagram.
The whole thing I'm saying here is that if you're willing to admit that this thing cannot prove 100% the Earth is round, then you have to admit that you don't actually know. It just might be round, which I'm not willing to accept. If you can show me 100% the Earth is round, I don't.
Do you know that? Do you know that the Earth is flat?
No.
Do you know that the Earth is? Do you know that the Earth is not round?
I don't know. I don't know what shape it is. You're the one who's claiming to know what shape it is.
Right.
You're failing to prove it.
Do you know? Do you know what your mother's name is?
Yes.
With 100% certainty.
That's man-made, man.
Why can't you answer the question?
That's made within my brain. So I would
answer the question.
I know 100% that's what her name is to me, but I don't know if that's actually your name. That's the answer.
I'm sorry.
To me, that's what I call it.
So do you know what your mother's birth name is?
I've been told, but I have no way of definitively proving that without checking, every piece of evidence that's available. Birth record.
Do you want to do me a favor right now and call up your mom and tell her, yeah, I don't know what your name is. Do you want to do that for me?
What's the benefit? Who cares? It's just a name, man.
Oh, because I actually don't think that you believe you don't know your mother's name with certainty.
Well, if you ask, so I don't, because if you sat here and asked me enough questions, I would eventually say I don't know. So I don't know.
I think you've been reduced. I think you've been reduced
to what?
Absurd.
Literally, if you asked me enough questions to prove her name, I would not be able to answer them. So therefore, I don't know.
And yet, you believe your mother's name is whatever it is. Correct? Ignorant.
Yes. You asked. You said believe. There's a difference between belief and knowing for a fact. You're claiming to know for a fact.
Okay, so to be clear,
there's a difference between belief and a fact.
Why do you believe that your mother's name is what it is, or is what you think it is?
Because it's more convenient to subscribe to that idea.
It's a matter of convenience for you?
Absolutely, as opposed to sitting down and trying to discern if that's the truth. But when you're shoving a claim of for a fact the shape of the Earth down my throat, you're making a statement that you know a fact.
So just to be clear, it's a matter of convenience. It's not. You don't have any reason to think that that's actually her name.
Based on what I've been told by other people, but I can't prove or disprove what they're telling me is true.
What might you call being told by other people?
Information? Well, it depends on the context. What do you mean?
You can call it evidence.
That's not evidence. Come on.
Sure is.
No, it's not. I can't prove that what they're saying is true or prove what they're saying. I can't even prove that I'm hearing them right.
So you understand that evidence is not about certainty, right?
Buddy, but you're claiming 100% certain that you know what you're talking about and the Earth is round.
You understand that evidence is not about certainty, right?
Buddy, cool. That doesn't prove it's actually round.
So do you agree that you have evidence that your mother's name is whatever it is?
No, I wouldn't call it evidence.
No, you wouldn't call it evidence? So you have completely unjustified beliefs about your mother's name?
Because I said a word and then you just changed the word I said with another word. You literally just changed. You said, what do you think this is? I said a word and then you shoved a different word in my mouth.
You said information.
Yeah, I said information.
And so I said, is that evidence?
No, it's information, not evidence.
Okay, so you would say that you have that your belief that your mother's name is what you think it is completely unjustified?
I told you, inside of my brain, it's what I think it is because I subscribe to the idea.
Yeah, no, but I'm talking about what her birth name is. Your belief about her birth name being what it is completely unjustified, is what you're telling me.
Absolutely, yes.
Oh, okay, so completely unjustified.
But I'm subscribing to it.
Why would you believe something that's completely unjustified?
To subscribe to that idea. I literally
So you just believe things because they're convenient for you?
Absolutely, dude. What are you talking about?
That just sounds. It sounds like it's a bad way of coming to know what's true about the world around us.
Everything in science is possible. I don't go through life going like, well, there is a chance that a nearby galaxy could just explode. So you just
believe whatever's convenient for you.
I subscribe to the idea. Yes, I subscribe to the idea that that's not going to happen because it's more convenient. Everybody does that.
Okay, so you don't actually care about what's true.
Makes no sense.
So you don't care about what's true at all.
I care about what's true, but I don't claim to know
whatever's convenient.
Hey, buddy, listen. I don't prove to know things that I don't actually know. You're the one who's proving to know things that you don't know.
I'm claiming that I have extraordinarily strong evidence for this.
I don't care. You still don't actually know. You're the only one who's being ignorant and claiming to know something you don't know. I'm the one who's saying I don't know.
If your definition of knowledge is 100% certainty, then sure, but that's not how I define knowledge.
Yeah, so admit it. You don't know if the Earth is round.
I'm what you might call a fabulist or a contextualist, which makes me absolutely. It's absolutely the case that I know that the Earth is round. It's just you and I mean different things by no.
Prove it.
You and I mean different things by no.
The chat, listen, ask the chat. The chat thinks you're saying 100% the Earth is round, but you do not believe that. You don't.
Yeah, I don't think that. So I am as certain that the Earth is round as I am that the sun will rise tomorrow.
You're the same as me, bro. You're the
same as me.
But so do you believe it because it's easier to subscribe to, not because you can prove it.
No, you're mistaken. I believe it because there's No, I definitely didn't say that. I believe it because there's an extraordinary amount of evidence for it. That's why I believe it.
Great, but you said I believe it as much as the sun will come up tomorrow.
I actually come to my beliefs via justification, via evidence, right? It seems like you come to your belief. It seems like you come to your beliefs just via convenience, but I actually care about ruling out bad beliefs and continuing to hold good beliefs. So I use evidence and justification to come to my conclusions.
Yeah, okay. I'll slow down. So I think I get what you're saying here. So let me clarify. I believe in certain things because it gives me the ability to go through life normally. Like you said, the sun going up. If I didn't think the sun was going up tomorrow, which I don't actually know if it will, it's not a very good way to go about life believing that it will for sure. Okay, you can laugh if you want, but you have no proof the sun will go up tomorrow. You don't have any proof, so you can laugh about it, but you're being ignorant.
It's not a matter of convenience, it's a matter of evidence, my guy. I would hope that you would understand that.
That's great, but you still don't know if it will happen or not.
Look,
just like I do.
It seems like
we're literally the same here.
It seems like you have a pretty confused epistemology, which is fine. You don't have to have a good grasp of epistemology. But the point is that you can come to beliefs, whether we can just disregard the word knowledge because it seems like you don't like that word. We can come to beliefs with evidence, which gives us good reason to form those beliefs, or we can come to belief without evidence, which gives us bad reasons to come to those beliefs. And so if your position is merely that you believe that your mother's name is what it is out of convenience, then you just are not using your brain to come to good conclusions about your beliefs, right? Because you should be using evidence, not just convenience.
Yeah. So the evidence you're talking about, for me to 100% believe that's my mother's name, I would have to get her birth certificate records, testimony from every single person who's ever spoken to her ever.
You don't need 100%. You don't need 100% belief. You can have a high degree of confidence.
And ensure that everything that they're saying is true.
Why are we talking about 100%?
Ensure that my information receptors are telling me the truth and I'm not being misinformed.
Why are we talking about 100%?
Ensure that I'm not hallucinating. Because that's how I would get to the right answer, and then I would admit that's her name. You don't do any of that.
To be clear,
you just say, I know it.
To be clear, so the way that I define knowledge and the way that you define knowledge, they're just different, I guess. I talk about knowledge
but you're claiming to know something that isn't true.
Yes, dreamy. When I say knowledge, I don't mean 100% certainty. I mean a high degree of certainty backed up by evidence.
That's cool, but when people look at videos like this, like your live stream, they're like, "Oh, this guy knows the Earth is round." You don't actually know.
By the way, that's what most people mean when they say no. They mean a high degree of certainty backed up by evidence.
You don't actually know if the Earth is round or not.
No, but I do know what it means. You and I just use that word differently.
No, but I said you don't actually know if the Earth is round.
But I do, because you and I use those words differently. I know the Earth is round in as much as I know the sun will rise tomorrow, in as much as I know my own name, right? These are all.
But you can't prove any of those things you just listed.
Sure, I can't prove that I'm not a brain in a vat, but that doesn't mean that I can't know that my name is what it is. I'm not going to tell you what it is, that the sun will rise tomorrow, etc.
It seems like
but the point is, no, that's not it. I'm believing it because I have evidence. I have evidence, right?
There's evidence that the Andromeda Galaxy is going to hit us soon. You're not running around in circles screaming.
Well, there is no evidence that it's going to hit us soon. There's evidence that it'll hit us in 4 billion years. So I'm not too worried.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, buddy, is that there's.
What you're saying is that you don't know what you're talking about, and you're confusing evidence for convenience.
A better example. I'm just saying, it just sounds like the same as my thing, man. Like it's nice. It sounds nicer.
Convenience versus evidence are not the same thing.
To believe that the sun will rise tomorrow has the same level of credence as your claim that the Earth is round. You can't prove them. That's all I'm saying. So
but there's very strong evidence for both of them. Do we agree? Okay.
Yes, so what your claim is
that strong evidence gives you reason to believe that it's true.
No.
Oh, okay. So even if something has extremely strong evidence for it, you shouldn't believe it's true?
I believe it's true because... Oh, wait, hold on. I think I misunderstood what you said. Are you saying the evidence for, like, the sun rising, like what I've heard, and then I just mentally go like, okay, that's most likely true. Is that what you're asking?
No, I'm asking, given strong amounts of evidence, is it reasonable to then believe that whatever the evidence is for is true?
Not true, but I mean, I'd say, you know what? Very good question. I would reply, easier to subscribe to. It's easier to subscribe to that idea based off everybody else admitting to the.
What do you think subscribing to an idea is?
Well, you can cancel a subscription, so I'm not fully booked on it, but I'll subscribe.
You can change your beliefs too, like.
Yeah, but that's what I just look for a different word other than what you said.
Okay, so what? Maybe we can just get technical here then. So if I were to tell you some proposition A, what would it mean for you to believe that proposition A?
If all of propositions have been discovered, and
I'm asking you about what it has to do with for you to. I'm not asking what it would take for you to believe it. I'm asking what it would mean for you to believe it.
Oh, okay, yeah, but that's the answer. If I could, it would mean me being able to go through every possibility to prove that proposition A is true.
Okay, so what does it mean when you say that you subscribe to proposition A?
It means I 99% subscribe to it, but I am not going to go around saying, this is true. I will go, you could subscribe to this idea because it'll make your life easier, and there's a lot of evidence behind it, but I'm not going to tell you it's true.
Have you ever said anything is true? Have you ever said anything is true before?
Out of the use of the word, I subscribe to that word for convenience, because speaking of it like this to people is very inconvenient.
So to be clear, you've used the word true before.
No.
You've never used the word true before?
Except for this live.
Ever?
For communication
Not a single time. Not a single time once in your life you've never said the word true before.
I just told you for the purposes of this live to communicate with you.
Okay. That's like mega bad faith. Like, really? I've never said the word true before. I've never used that word before. It's never been a part of my vocabulary. Like, really? Is that what we're doing? Like, bro would rather lie than just, like, you know, own up to the fact that he had a bad point, right? All right, let's talk to Dylan. Okay, let's talk to Logan. Logan, how's it going? Logan, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Logan, how old are you?
47.
And what's your birth year?
1.
1 is not a birth year. Oh, we have some super chats to read. It is funny though. 1. I was born in 1. So from just some guy with the $2, for my mental health, he has to be trolling. He was not. He just doesn't like, he likes being contrarian, and when presented with evidence, he's just like, yeah, but you can't prove that with 100% certainty. Like, okay. From Zaid Sabri with the $2, thanks for the donation, bud. I appreciate that. And from Brian Peck with the $5, oh, I need to move this if the lava lamp is going to be there. I can know nothing, including knowing I know nothing, because I refuse to be honest. Therefore, Earth more likely flat because I reject evidence. Dreamy. Yep, that was the conversation I just had. From Herman Preet with the $5, could you turn down the caller's volume? When you guys talk at the same time and the caller is more easily heard and I can't hear you. Yeah, I can do that. That's a good point. And from Alien... I can't read Greek. With the $2. Idiot Redditor arguing with other idiots. Oh, I'm an idiot Redditor? Okay. Well, thanks for the $2, though. I appreciate it. All right, let's talk to... Oh, DJ Daniel's back. DJ Daniel, welcome back.
Hello.
Howdy, howdy. Do you think that the Earth is flat?
You called me that you wouldn't... You told 100... 200, 500, 600 people on live that I potentially beat women, or that you wouldn't have your wife safe.
I wouldn't feel comfortable with my wife hanging out with you. Yeah.
Okay, but can you clarify to the chat that you have no actual evidence that I would be?
I actually don't think I ever said that you did beat anyone. Just that those are the vibes I got.
Yeah. So can you tell the chat that you have zero evidence of that being the case?
Yeah, I don't have any evidence that you've hurt anybody.
Okay.
You just give me bad vibes.
That's your bad vibes. That's up to you. That's fine. But I'm a person who doesn't deserve someone saying those types of comments. That's all. Okay. That's all. I wanted to make sure that, because like that's defamation. You understand that's illegal, right?
If I say that you give me bad vibes, if I say that you're the kind of person that gives me those vibes, or you're the kind of person that I wouldn't trust around my wife, yeah, that's not defamation.
You said more than that, though. You went even further. I don't
think so.
Yes, you went further.
I have several attorneys saying otherwise. But look, are you a flat earther or not?
Oh, so you went to go check it? No,
there are people in the chat right now.
Huh?
There are people in the chat right now that are saying otherwise.
No,
but
so
like,
you had several attorneys look at it. You said
no. Several attorneys in the chat saying, yeah, no, this isn't defamation. Like,
no, what Blitz is telling you that he said is not defamation, but he went further than that.
Okay, look, are you a flat earther, or otherwise, like, if you want to file a lawsuit, like, I guess by all means.
No, I'm not going to, because you're saying to the chat you have no evidence that I've ever done that before, and if it's your opinion that you wanted to like hide in a corner and say that, hey, I wouldn't feel comfortable. That's your opinion. That's different.
Yeah, that's what I said yesterday.
You went a little bit further than that yesterday.
Saying it seems like we can go look at the playback if you want.
Yeah, you said it seems like
actually y'all should just go watch the playback.
You didn't just stick to that. You said it seems like he does this.
So Daniel, do you actually want to have a conversation?
Yeah. Okay, let's go to the
Do you think that the Earth is flat?
Yes. How about that?
Do you actually?
No, but we're gonna go there.
I don't want to debate against a devil's advocate. Why would I? Like, look, I mean, like, I'm not the only one who gets bad vibes from him, right? Like, he was super, super aggressive with me the first time I talked with him. Like, it's just bad vibes, bro. Like, if you don't want to be accused of having bad vibes, just don't give off bad vibes. It's easy. All right, we have some super chats, and we'll move on to our next guest. From Kieran Dave with the $5. For someone who discusses probability, Dreamy needs to understand that the probability of a proposition equals 1 is unreachable, and if you do set it there, it'll break reasoning. Yeah, that's exactly it. And from David with the $2, is it true that I just super chatted? Well, I can't know. I could be hallucinating. And from the Greek person, thank you for the $2. It's good to help the poor. Well, I appreciate that, Greek person. And from Kieran Dave, again with the $5, I appreciate you. Blitz's bad vibes are evidence enough for me. I think that guy is dangerous around women. Look, like, maybe, like, I wouldn't be surprised if he's never hurt anybody. He just gives bad vibes, okay? Like, he gives, like, red pill vibes is what it is. And red pill is not, I don't know, just not great. From Patrick with the 2000 HUF, I think that's Hungarian currency. Sometimes I think FLERFS just need to understand topological manifolds and they would accept globe more easily. You have very, very high expectations. You have very high expectations that flat earthers can understand topological manifolds, right? From Gravity Hits Hard with the $5 Australian. Thanks for the many hours of content. I'm a truck driver in Sydney, Australia, and you make my work days, my days fun at work. Well, I'm glad I can. From Joshua Winston with the $10. Thank you so much, Joshua. Why is it that flat earthers don't seem to understand how gravity works and how it is not possible for an object the size of a planet to be a disk without gravity pulling it back into a sphere? They don't think gravity is real. That's the issue. That's the issue, right? And from B Philly with the 2 Canuck bucks, do a kickflip. I used to skateboard when I was a kid. I wasn't that good. I could ollie really well, actually. I can never land a kickflip. From Supalovo with the $5, I'm not saying that DJ Daniel has ever beat a woman. I'm just saying that if someone told me that DJ Daniel beat a woman, I'd believe them. That's what a vibe is, right? Like, look, there's no evidence. Like, I don't know who DJ Daniel is. He might be the sweetest guy in real life. It's just like the way that it comes across online. It's just, I don't know, man. There's something about it. Maybe it's the profile picture. Maybe it's the profile picture of him like with like 2 women in like, you know, like a red pill pose or something. Like, I don't know. It's Shay just sent $50 for the legal fund that I won't need. And with Spine on the Pine with the $10. All right, we probably should get off the DJ hate wagon right now. He is just a guy. He's not asking for attention. I'll read it, but this is the last one I'm reading, okay? DJ gives off big, my favorite boxer is Andrew Tate, but only when he's hitting women vibes on every show. Just waiting to boil over with false resentment fueled by too much Rogan and Red Pill TikTok. It's like a Rogan thing. It's like a Red Pill thing. That's what it boils down to. That's how it seems. And if you don't want to come across that way, like there's a way to hold yourself and to carry yourself in conversations and like in your profile pictures and stuff like that, that would prevent that, right? At this point, this is just advice. From Peanut Butter with the $5, the times flat earthers proved Earth wasn't flat with their experiments is crazy too. Yeah, that is crazy. All right, let's talk to Get 4 Less Club. Get for Less Club. How's it going? All right, Get for Less Club is not here. Kiss, how's it going? Kiss, can you hear me? All right, let's talk to Unwanted Sponge. Unwanted Sponge, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Unwanted, what shape do you think the Earth is?
I'll just take the proposition that I do believe that it is flat in some ways, but I will say you were talking about justification when it comes to stuff. Do you have a justification when it comes to logic itself?
Like, sorry, do you actually think that the Earth is flat?
Yeah.
Okay, why? Why do you think that the Earth is flat?
I guess I would say, I mean, I kind of be making logical fallacies when I say this, but only just to ask you that what in your mind justifies logic? Like what?
So to be clear, you don't think the Earth is flat. You just wanted to come up and do tag?
Not tag, but just like, I was just asking questions.
Let's talk to Joseph. Oh, Joseph isn't here. Let's talk to Fitness Trainer. Fitness Trainer, how's it going?
Hello, how's it going, sir?
I'm doing all right. Fitness Trainer, what shape do you think the Earth is?
Well, I think it is not so flat that the people think, but it's also not like a ball. So
why do you think that?
I do believe that there is... Sorry?
Why do you think that?
Because when you fly, right? So you're just flying. Always 30,000 feet.
30 to 40, yeah.
Yeah, normally. And you fly 9 to 8 hours from one continent to another continent. So, and there's no logical, I don't know how to explain it, reason to say that the Earth is like a ball or like an onion. So,
wait, did you just say like an onion?
Yes, that is a little bit, yeah, relevant.
What? Why did you say like an onion?
Because it looks like an onion.
How does it look like an onion?
When you put an onion on the table now, and you see the Earth, so it's almost like mine.
Would you say that that the Earth is like ogres?
Not really.
So you would say that you don't think the Earth is like ogres because you don't think that the Earth is like onions?
I'm not 100% sure, but I'm not so convinced that the Earth is like how the map is draped, or like here, let's say in the compass, or like a ball.
I can't tell if you're trolling or not.
Yeah, I know it's a little bit like an illusion, the entire.
All right. I think we're good here, right? We're good here, right? Let's talk to PhD Angelo.
Hello.
PhD Angelo, how's it going?
Oh, I'm pretty good.
Glad to hear it. Angelo, can I call you Angelo?
Yeah.
Okay, Angelo, what shape do you think the Earth is?
It's a level topographical plane.
Okay, yeah, sure. And why would you say so?
Long distance photographs proves that we see too far for the globe claimed radius.
Okay.
No.
How does it? What's the proof here? By the way, I can't really see what you're showing me, and I can't really make you. I can't because you're on several different platforms.
Right, no worries. On screen. So 400 meters above sea level is where this was taken from. This is Monviso across from Pisa, Italy.
Wait a minute, is this Angel?
No.
Angel.
Angel who? I don't know who Angel is.
That's Angel. PhD Angelo is a good name, though. Mr. Yo, how's it going?
Hey, everything good, man. You know, how to make it happen. I wanted to give you some proof. My English is not like perfect.
Mr. Yo, just really quick, your audio is really kind of crappy. Is there a way to, like, you know, speak closer to the mic or get out of a louder area or something like this?
All right, you hear me right now?
Yeah, that's a lot better.
All right. I wanted to say that the Earth is flat.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I believe that the Earth is flat is because the NASA and the globists cannot explain the three bodies problem.
What does that have to do with the shape of the Earth?
Exactly. Secondly,
hold on. Can you answer my question?
I believe that.
Can you answer my question? And can you turn off your TV?
Go ahead. All right, can you
or can you go somewhere quieter?
All right, let me move.
Okay, thanks.
All right. What I wanted to say is the Earth is flat. I believe that the Earth is flat because I don't believe in gravity. Because the gravity, not the gravity, I mean the gravity. Gravity is like a theory, not facts. No proof. Nobody can prove it.
So how do you think, so before we continue, you brought up the three body problem. What does that have to do with the shape of the Earth?
Exactly. If the Earth
don't
is
say
moving,
exactly. Can you answer my question, please?
All right. If the Earth is moving in space around of the sun, if the sun is moving around of some other planets, that means three gravities. I mean, three movements at the same time. You see what I mean?
Yeah. So what's the issue? Why does that mean the Earth is? What's the issue with that? Like that's fine. There's no issue there.
All right. How could make your research on that? How could the Earth keep the same trajectory when it's like moving in the space while there's other planets acting on the sun?
Because the Earth is orbiting the sun. And the other planets are sufficiently small perturbations that they don't disturb the orbit.
That's going to disturb the orbit because the sun at the same time is moving in space.
Yeah, that doesn't disturb the orbit.
Exactly.
We wouldn't expect it. We wouldn't expect it to disturb the orbit. I don't understand what the issue is.
Go make your research and you will see. Secondly,
I'm very familiar. I'm very familiar with gravity. What's the contention here? We can talk at the technical level.
The gravity. There's no proof for that. It's just theory.
Well, hold on. Are we moving on from the statement that the three-body problem proves the Earth is not a globe?
The Earth cannot be a globe because this is not logic. What I mean is this is not logic.
Which part?
Which part?
Yeah, which part's not logical?
That the Earth is moving around the sun, and the sun is moving in space, and all of these planets moving around each other.
Yeah, what's the problem there?
One gonna attract the other. That cannot be like steady, like moving.
Sure, that's fine. Yeah, everything attracts everything else. What about it?
Exactly. That's the three-bodies problem.
The three-body problem is the three-body problem doesn't. The three-body.
Not logic.
Look, Mr. Yo, you might be a little bit confused. So the three-body problem is a description of our inability to like write down a simple solution to a certain kind of math problem. It doesn't say anything about whether or not gravity works. Oh, he left. Okay. It is what it is. All right, let's bring up just a crash out. Oh, I should read some super chats. Okay, let's read some super chats and then I'll bring up the next guest. We have $5 from Drew Proctor. Thank you so much, Drew. If you believe the Earth is flat, what is the motive that NASA would say it's round? There is none, hence they could have said it was flat too. So I'll just answer for the flat earthers. They usually give two answers, and this is just from my experience talking to them, or roughly two answers. So the first is that they say that, well, there's an infinite amount of resources beyond the ice wall, and they don't want us to know about it because then they can keep us trapped in the system. It keeps us poor and subservient, right? That's the idea. That's one idea, that there's like oil and there's other stuff and gold and copper and stuff beyond the ice wall. And if we knew it existed, if only we knew, we would just go there and there's more space. So we wouldn't need to fight over buying about land and all of that stuff. The second is that they think that they're trying to hide God from us because God says the Earth is flat. It's usually one of those two reasons. From Master Miner with the $2, we're all brains and vats that are lava lamps. There you go. The great lava lamp in the sky solves the hard solipsism problem. And we have $2 from David with the onion earth brings my tears to eye. No, ogre earth, because ogres are like onions. From Mr. Pacho, thank you so much, bud. Going to with the $20, by the way, which is a huge W. Going to adopt this caller's technique every time someone asks me a question I don't know or tells me I'm wrong at work. Just respond with exactly and continue on like nothing happened, impossible to defeat. By the way, I should let you guys know, I have 3 tiers on Patreon. One's $5 a month, one's $10 a month. The third is $750 a month. And the reason why there's a third tier that's $750 a month is because some people have lots of money and they want to support scientists, like actually support the research rather than just like supporting live stream stuff. And if that's something that speaks to you, if you want to support a scientist so you can get acknowledged in the acknowledgement section of a paper, if you can get, quarterly updates of the research that I'm doing, so you can get access to all of my preprints and so on, that's available to you if you're like exceedingly wealthy and have throwaway money. If you want to do that. If you don't want to do that, by all means, but that's an option that's available. I know that the person who is currently doing it suggested I advertise it more because they didn't find out about it except by watching some old video where I mentioned it once. So that's a thing to consider. If you don't want to do it, though, of course, like there's no obligation. Now, from actual Rums with the $5, can you give me a short radio pitch of who you are and what you're doing today? Been watching all morning, first time, loving the content. Yeah, so I have a PhD in physics. I am a science communicator and researcher. I do research in physics, mostly cosmology, black holes, and general relativity. And I also do research in pure mathematics, in particular in differential geometry. So I spend about half my day doing that every day. And the other half of the time I spend doing outreach. So on the one hand, I create science videos on TikTok and on YouTube. On the other hand, I also do public debate like this. So I will, participate in combating misinformation in the form of debating flat earthers or young earth creationists and that kind of thing. So that's what I do. I hope you enjoy and, stick around. All right, let's bring up S197. S197, how's it going?
Hello?
How's it going, bud?
Hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. How's it going?
Oh, awesome. How's it going?
I'm doing A-okay. S197, what shape do you think the Earth is?
I think it's flat.
Okay, S197, I'm sorry I have to ask this. Are you driving?
No, I'm in the car right now. I'm parked. It's just really windy outside.
Okay. Great. So you think it's flat. Why do you think it's flat?
So the main reason that I think it's flat is how come if it's a globe we haven't been able to drill through to the other side?
So I can't tell if you're serious or not.
No, I'm being genuine.
Hold on, we got to check something. How big do you think the Earth is?
Well, I don't know. If I had to guess, I think it goes infinite.
Or sorry, how big do you think I think the Earth is?
As big as NASA and the liars at NASA tell you it is.
Right, but how big is that?
Like, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of miles.
It's like 8,000 miles across.
Okay, yeah.
So, you think it's easy to drill 8,000 miles?
Well, I mean, we drill for oil. Why can't we just continue to drill?
How deep do you think we drill for oil?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, probably not 8,000 miles, but
like
why can't we just keep going? 1 mile? Well,
maybe 2.
Well, I mean, I still think that we would have the ability to drill far enough down. And the reason why I think it's flat is because we can't drill. You'd fall out the other side.
So this has got to be a troll, but it's worth explaining anyway. So look, there was not an attempt, but there was an effort by Russian scientists, maybe Soviet scientists, a while ago. Let me actually get the exact date so I don't misattribute people. So there was what year was this? Yeah, okay. So these were Soviet scientists. They made an effort to basically just see how far they can drill down before like the conditions changed so much that they couldn't keep drilling. They were able to drill about 7.6 miles or so. And what happened at that depth is that basically the Earth gets hot and the rock is under so much pressure that the rock basically becomes pudding. And you can't really, like, it just becomes sticky. And you can't really drill through that anymore. It just breaks drill bits. So it's really hot. There's extreme amounts of pressure, and the rock is like, it's like sticky pudding. So they weren't able to drill further. Why would you think that we'd be able to drill all the way down when you can't even drill more than 8 miles?
Why can't they just get like heat resistant like scoopers and just scoop that stuff out?
Because look, so have you ever tried to scoop out molten sugar?
Well, personally, no.
Okay, well, it's hard, right? Dealing with really hot, sticky stuff is really hard. But look, I understand that you're trolling, so thanks for being here, S197.
No, I'm
Thank you for letting me explain
genuine.
the Kola Super Deep borehole. Really?
I'm being genuine. And like, why don't we just get like King President Trump and have him like nuke the center of the Earth?
I mean, a troll is a troll. All right, let's talk to Just to Crash Out. Just to Crash Out, how's it going?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. So, I'm gonna be entirely honest now.
Please.
I was thinking of...
Your mic's cutting out, by the way. I can't hear you.
Damn. Is it better now?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think it's better now. I'm getting 2 bars of 5G. So this is not a troll on you, but a troll on how I view flat earthers, if that's okay.
Okay, but I don't want to do that, so no, not okay. All right, let's read a super chat or two. From Garain with the $5. Did you know you can use a camera pointed at a lava lamp as a random number generator? Cloudflare has an interesting article on this. I did know this, in fact. This is why I used it as the example in the debate on Friday. And from Casual Panda with the $5, I'm just asking questions, then ask it better. Yeah, that's a good point. We often, and this might get me banned on TikTok, we often call this JAQing off, also known as jacking off. But it's spelled with a Q at the end, so it's not illicit. All right, let's talk to D-Champ. D-Champ. Can you hear me, D-Champ? D-Champ? That was really loud. Sorry, y'all. All right, let's talk to Hokey Hokey Saham. Bro was in a tornado. Hokey, how's it going? Hokey? Okay. Oh yeah, bro was beyond the ice wall. There was a lot he was shoveling snow. All right, let's talk to Ink. Ink, how's it going?
Yeah, hello.
Ink, how old are you?
Not old enough, but just saying goodnight.
Okay. How about Get for Less Club again? Maybe he's here. Get for Less, how's it going?
Hello?
Get for Less, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Get for Less. What shape do you think the Earth is?
I think it's not flat for sure.
Oh, you're the guy that came on and was talking about onions, right?
No. It's the first time I'm here. I just have a question. Do you think we can, instead of drilling to the Earth, at some point we can create some sort of submarine or something that can like go through the lava-shaped stones? Or is it...
Get out of here, onion guy. All right, let's talk to Marky Mark. Marky Mark, how's it going?
It's going good.
Glad to hear it, Marky Mark. Marky Mark, what shape do you think the Earth is?
I know what it is, man.
Okay,
it's all in
which
the Bible.
is?
It's all in the Bible. How does the flood stay on the earth for almost 2 years if there's not a containment type thing? There's no way a flood can cover the entire earth and stay for that long if it's not in a container, dude.
I actually
have
a hold on, Marky. I have a question.
Sense. That's
Marky,
all
I have a question.
Say.
How well, let's talk about it, right? So
there's no I'm not arguing about it. I know what the earth is. I've read it in the Bible.
Marky, I have some questions.
Okay.
Is that okay? So how high did the floodwaters get?
Very high.
Do you know how high?
Over the tallest mountains.
So like higher than Mount Everest?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know how high Mount Everest is off chance?
No clue.
I don't either. We can Google it. So Mount Everest is 29,000 feet and change, right? So the waters must have been at least 29,000 feet higher, yeah? Or high
Correct.
Or more. Okay, cool. Now, what's the barrier that's keeping the waters in during the flood?
The firmament.
The firmament?
Yeah, you never heard of the firmament? You never heard of the firmament?
Where does the firmament connect to the ground?
It connects to all four corners of the earth.
The earth has corners?
Of course it has four corners.
Where are the corners?
He sat the earth upon pillars, and the earth does not move. It is immovable. It says it right in the Bible, man.
So it also says that it's a circle in the Bible.
Well, yeah, because the sphere,
does a circle have corners?
Have you ever looked up the Operation Fishbowl where they try to shoot?
Yeah, I've heard about that, but it's kind of a deflection. I'm just asking
why they call it a fishbowl.
Don't ask me, ask them.
Exactly.
Look, so the Earth has corners, but it's a circle?
It has 4 corners, yes.
So what's the circle of the Earth then?
The firmament that covers the Earth.
But the firmament's not a circle, is it?
The firmament's not a circle. No, not a complete circle.
So then why would they call it a circle?
Who called what a circle?
In the Bible, it talks about the circle of the Earth.
He stretched the sky like a molten metal glass.
So this Isaiah 40:22.
Says it in Job, I think.
I'm talking about Isaiah. So Isaiah 40:22, the verses, he sits enthroned above the circle of the earth, and its people are like grasshoppers.
Yeah, the circle at the top.
So what's the circle?
At the top, you've got God at the very, very top, and then you got the firmament between the waters above and the waters below, and then you have the dome, which covers the earth. That's the only circle part. It doesn't go underneath. It goes.
But a dome isn't a circle.
Well, whatever. Maybe it's not a circle then. I don't know.
But then why does it say a circle?
What says a circle?
Isaiah 40:22.
Because he's probably talking about the circle at the top over looks like a circle that covers the earth.
Which part looks like a circle?
The sphere, the dome.
But a dome's not a circle.
Have you ever seen a crystal ball or like a?
Yeah, I've seen a crystal ball. A crystal ball looks like a circle. You shake
one of those things and little snowflakes.
Yeah, but that's not a circle. That's like half a circle.
Okay, then it's not a circle. So at the bottom of that is a flat.
Right, but that doesn't have corners.
It says in the Bible. Look up where it says it has 4 corners, dude.
Right, well, no, but now I'm confused because if we're talking about like a snow globe,
you're not confused. You're trying to act confused. You're trying to cause a problem.
Marky, so
dude,
like
look up in the Bible. Look at the verse. Find the verse that says 4 corners.
Marky,
look it up right now.
I agree it's in there. We can talk about that in a second. But Marky, you were
stop bringing up something to cause an argument over a stupid circle.
Marky,
it's the same thing. Goodbye, dumbass.
Marky, chill. Okay. So you brought up a snow. Oh, he ran. Man, he got really heated when he was asked to confront what the text of the Bible says. Goodbye, dumbass. Hello, YouTube. It'll be a really short YouTube video because he was only able to last for 4 minutes, which, you know, is saying something for his general stamina, right? All right, let's talk to Zay. And the only place he lasts 4 minutes.
Hello.
That's probably impolite. Zay, how's it going?
Okay, hear me out.
Hold on, Zay. I gotta ask. What shape do you think the Earth is?
Hear me out.
Well, can you just answer the question really quick?
I am.
Okay, what shape do you think the Earth is?
Minecraft is a really good game. Minecraft's Earth is square.
All right, thanks. Emilian, how's it going?
Hey.
I guess is it? Did I say your name right?
Yeah. No, it's Emiliano.
Emiliano, great. Emiliano, what shape do you think the Earth is?
A square.
A square? I don't know if that's true, Emiliano. Do you actually think that?
No, rather a cube because.
Go on. All right, let's talk to Grenowy. I'm probably mispronouncing this too. Maybe it's Grenowy? Grenowy, did I say your name right?
Yeah.
Okay. Grenowy, what shape do you think the Earth is?
I think the head is flat.
Okay. And why so?
Because most people think that the head is circle, but if you have a spinning ball, the water inside it wouldn't be like... How can you... It doesn't make sense.
Why not?
Because the Bible was the oldest history of humans, and I think the Bible, I believe in the Bible.
Well, sorry, I was asking about the part that doesn't make sense about the water on a spinning ball.
If that was the circle, if you have a tennis ball, and you shake it in the water and you spin it around, the water can flush out, similar to the planet.
It's funny you say that. What if I showed you a video of exactly the opposite thing happening?
Okay.
Let me pull it up. I think it's on Average Glober's page. Let me pull it up really quick. Or is it on, it might be on, no, I think it's on Globy McGlobeface's page. Globy McGlobeface. Such a hard thing to type. Okay, so this isn't a tennis ball, it's just a ball. It's just a different type of ball, but I think that this will probably suit your fancy. By the way, when you're off the app, I can't hear you. You there? Runaway? Yeah, okay, so here's so this is a ball. See how it's shiny? It's shiny because it has water on it.
Where's the water?
There's water on it, that's why it's shiny.
No, that's not water. Well, that's a paint.
You think it's
paint?
paint?
You put a water on
it
and the ball's spinning, you can't ever.
Hold on. Just wait. He's doing it again. I just want to fast forward. Okay, so see the ball in the water?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now watch. He's shaking it around. Okay, so clearly the ball is wet, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now why is there still water on it? Yeah, the water's still on it.
The water is not on it. That's a paint.
Why is it shiny?
If you ever
wait, hold on. He's gonna zoom in. He's gonna take a. Why is he getting water from a paper towel if it was just paint and not water? Why is it wet? See how wet it was? If it was just paint, it wouldn't have come off. And look, you can even see it. Like, why is it?
That is not water. It's choke, man.
So then why did it make
choke in it?
Wait, what? Sorry, what's that he's measuring right now? You can even see it? Why is it that it made the paper towel wet? How did the paper towel get wet if it wasn't water?
Because whatever the land is made out of, it looks like it's soaking the water in it.
It looks like it's soaking it's just clay.
Yeah.
And then why can you see the water
if you
on
have
the
a tennis ball and you put it in a bucket of water and then you spit in?
Hold on, I've actually seen that example be done too.
Ain't gonna be survivor.
I've actually seen that example be done too, but that one I'll have to find. So, one sec, let me just find this really quick. I think that there's actually just a video of this. One sec, let me see if I can find it, because I think Globy McGlobeface did this too. Okay, so it's not there. Okay, yeah, I think that this is a video that'll do it. Oh no, he doesn't actually do it. He just talks about it. Maybe it's this one. Okay, so I can't find a video of that the water with the tennis ball. I know it exists, but we could keep digging. I just don't want to waste your time. But we did see this happen with a rubber ball, right? And you just seem to think that it must have been fake because there were sponges. Is that the claim? And by the way, if anybody on Discord happens to have the link to the video I'm talking about, feel free to send it to me and I can use that. Otherwise, we'll just move on. Oh, he's teacupped. I think Globy McGlobeface did it, right? You there, Grenowy? Type in TikTok. All right, Grenowy's not here. There's the original video with the... I know Globy McGlobeface did it. Maybe it was on his old channel that got banned. Okay. Well, anyway, he's not here, so we'll just move on. By the way, it'd be much easier to get it to stick to a tennis ball because the tennis ball has a lot more surface area because it's furry. That's why using a rubber ball is actually probably a better demonstration. All right, we have $5 Canuck bucks from Garba Gaiman. The ice ball is impossible. Lamp would melt it. True, the lamp would melt it. From Binary Ghost to the $5, every map I've ever seen has been flat and had 4 corners. Checkmate, atheists. True. All maps do have 4 corners, except the round ones. From David with the $2, a circle is a circle squared. Cube Earth? No, square Earth. And from Brian Peck with the $2, centrifugal force is 0.03 up, G is 9.81 down, T force down or total force down at equator. Yeah, so they don't know how that works. So that's hard for them. Chris Bryant says YouTube has a tennis ball spinning wet. Okay, I'll look that up and then we can just play it. I'll look it up and see if we can find it. Oh, here we go. But we want it in like equilibrium, like just like hanging from a string spinning rather than like in slow-mo while it's flying through the air, because it's really hard to see like what's on it while it's spinning in equilibrium. That's not the example I was thinking of, but anyway, that's fine. Let's talk to Not a Demon. Not a Demon, how's it going? Not a Demon? You there? Not a Demon. All right. Talk to River. River, how's it going?
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. River, what shape do you think the Earth is?
Okay, I want to say I know for sure it's round, but I wanted to respond to something someone else said earlier.
That's what the comments are for. Sorry, I gotta be harsh, because we're looking for opposition specifically, right? Stretch, how's it going?
Good.
Glad to hear it. Stretch, what shape do you think the Earth is?
It's flat. Yeah.
Okay.
It was probably a month ago or so.
Okay.
I just wanted to push back on your Isaiah scripture, because you said that says it's a circle.
It says it's a circle, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
We agree on that, right?
No.
Well, so it doesn't say it's a circle?
Right.
But what does it say then?
Okay. So when you
That's
use
confusing.
scripture, well, I'll explain it to you, since you want to use scripture for your arguments. You got to go etymology. It's written in Hebrew, so therefore it doesn't say circle.
Okay, let's go find the original Hebrew.
Kug, which is CHUG, is a Hebrew word. It can mean circle, but it can mean horizon, circuit, heavens, things of that nature.
So the word is al-hug? Is that what you're referring to?
Right.
Okay. So you're saying that doesn't mean circle.
Well, of course it doesn't say circle, because it's not written in English. It's written
obviously, but you're saying that word doesn't mean circle.
So when you look at it, you got to go back to the original.
Hug, here's the original.
You got to go back to the original text.
Here's the Hebrew. Here's the Hebrew, right? Here's the word al-hug. Al-hug ha'aretz, which is above the hug of the earth, whatever hug means. So I typed in hug into Google Translate and it says circle. It also translates to glass, ring, orb, sphere. Down low it uses the word horizon. But it looks like that's not like the primary definition, so
So now it doesn't say circle, because it's written in Hebrew.
Well, yeah, but it's the Hebrew word for circle.
Translation can be multiple different elements, so you're basing your description of scripture on a selection of translation, right? So
right, but that's just what the Hebrew word means, right?
Right, so now it doesn't say circle, and now you're educated.
Nobody ever made the claim that it was written in English originally. But when we're talking about
You
what
said
the
it
Bible
says
says,
circle.
when we're talking
What
about what the
else does it
Bible
say?
says, we're talking about what it means, what the words mean in whatever language you're speaking in, right? Otherwise, you could never say that the Bible says anything that's not in Hebrew, at least the Hebrew Bible, right? You couldn't say, oh, the Bible says that God created the earth, because it doesn't say that, right?
Right, there's original text, and you go to the etymology of
Stretch,
the
would you
word
say,
and the context of
Stretch, would
the
you say that
language
the
that it's
Bible
said.
says that God created the
So
earth?
you took an English translation and you selected the word circle to justify your interpretation.
So Stretch,
and that, right?
Stretch, would you say that the Bible says that God created the earth?
Not originally, no.
Okay, so the Bible doesn't say God created the earth. Got it.
Not in its original text.
Yeah, okay, good. I'm glad we agree that the Bible does not say God created the earth.
English has, I mean, even the Greeks have more like vocabulary and description of words that we don't even have in English. So, you know, when you chose the word circle.
Well, I mean that is the explicit translation. I showed you I showed you just the translation. Like if you just punch into Google the translation,
you should leave an option of words that it can translate.
The primary translation is circle.
Who chose that?
That's how the word is typically used.
So Google's the most forefront like subject of the Hebrew language.
Do you speak Hebrew fluently?
No,
otherwise
I don't,
otherwise I trust Google over you.
Yeah. You even had like a selection of words.
Do you want to go check the Septuagint? We can check that if you want.
No, I just want you to just admit that it doesn't say circle. That's written in Hebrew, and
the Hebrew word for circle is used.
There's many other translations.
The Hebrew word for circle is the word that's used, right?
Doesn't mean circle.
What does it mean?
It can mean circle.
Oh, okay.
It can mean horizon. It can mean circuit. It can mean community activity.
Okay. If that's what you got to tell yourself in order to square the
is that your scientific
square your interpretation with
that's your scientific analysis that's I mean I would go get your refund on a PhD if you have one.
I didn't pay for it. That's the lovely part. Do you want to look at the Greek Septuagint? We could look at the Greek Septuagint.
Right? You get what you pay for.
Do you want to look at the Greek Septuagint? How do you
feel
about
what you pay for?
How do you feel about the Greek Septuagint?
Yeah, because is that how you scientifically like?
How do you feel about the Greek Septuagint?
And you just skip the whole etymology of language. Hey,
how do you feel about the Greek Septuagint
and things like that? You know.
How do you feel about the Greek Septuagint? How do you feel about the Greek Septuagint? Stretch. How do you feel about the Greek Septuagint? Stretch. How do you feel about the Greek Septuagint? You can keep saying the same tired joke. How do you feel about the Greek Septuagint? Why are you running from your own Bible? Why are you running from your own Bible?
Admit that you know that's
Why are you running from your own Bible? This is the Greek. This is the Greek Septuagint. You are running from it. Do you like the Greek Septuagint? Do you think that that's like a good translation? Yeah, you do. Okay, so this is the relevant Isaiah verse. I don't read Greek, but this word is gyrion, right? It's that word right there, gyrion. Now, if we punch that into Google, I don't know if you can see this. If we punch that into Google, gyron, which is that word, translates to round. Little bit suspicious, isn't it? Why is it that in the Greek and in the Hebrew, the Hebrew word translates to circle, the Greek word translates to round? I don't know, man. It seems like you're just kind of upset that the Bible says the word circle. And by the way, a circle's not a sphere. I'm not claiming the Bible says the earth is a sphere. I'm saying it's definitely not a square.
Even though it says four corners of the earth. So I wouldn't necessarily, on observation, you took the word circle. We know it's written in Hebrew. We know like that was an option to take, but there's numerous options and translations, and you can't like this is what's called confirmation bias, when you like you've observed something and then you like, oh, Google says circle. Google
Tongiros tiskis.
Oh, Google
translates to the circle of the earth.
Oh, Google. Yay!
Hi, YouTube.
My savior Google. It says circle. And even though that it doesn't really say that, you know, that was one option, you know. Hail Google.
You done crashing out?
Are you gonna like scientifically like go back and actually give all the options for the words, you know, that it translates to?
So
or are you gonna worship Google as your Lord and Savior and say, you know, well, Google says circle. Google told me I got a free PhD and you know, learn nothing in scientific observation, you know, to use actually the science of ophthalmology and
the science of what? I'm sorry, what's the science called?
Ophthalmology.
Ophthalmology?
Study of words.
Ophthalmology, the study of words is what you're telling me? Ophthalmology, let's find out, because I think that ophthalmology is a different thing, isn't it? Ophthalmology. Ophthalmology is the medical and surgical specialty focused on eye and vision care. You mean etymology, right? And that is the study of the origin of words, not the study of the meaning of words. The study of the meaning of words is not a science. Anyway, we could go look at the NSR or the NRSV, which is a really faithful translation if you want.
It matters what Google says to you.
Well, do you want to go look at a faithful translation,
no,
the NRSV?
I don't trust your science.
I'm not using science. I'm just relying on a faithful translation.
Has Google ever been wrong?
I'm not relying on Google. Here you go. Here's
Google
another translation.
This is
NRSV. This is the NRSVU.
Has Google ever been wrong?
Do we like the NRSVU? What translation of the Bible do you like?
Has Google ever been wrong?
What translation of the Bible do you like?
Has science ever been wrong?
What translation of the Bible do you like, Stretch?
Has science ever been wrong?
Stretch, what translation of the Bible do you like?
Has Google and science ever been wrong?
Sure. Now, which translation of the Bible do you like?
Yeah.
Can you answer my question? Which translation of the Bible do you like?
Now we know it doesn't say circle.
Stretch, which translation of the Bible do you like?
We got it.
Stretch, which translation of the Bible do you like?
Let's recap.
Hey, Stretch. Let's
recap.
I'm going to mute you, and I'm going to keep you muted until you can answer a very simple question. Which translation of the Bible do you like? Go ahead and answer. Oh, he ran. Okay. Well, such is the nature of the game. He was very upset for a very short amount of time. But you know how long that amount of time is? It's a perfect 10 minutes. All right, let's read some super chats, and we'll bring on another guest. From Jack Fetter with the $5. To be fair, isn't it a tad disingenuous to use the ball water example? Isn't that really attributed to adhesion and surface tension versus gravity? Yes. So it is attributed to adhesion and surface tension, but their claim is that there's nothing you can do to make water conform to the outside of a sphere. And by illustrating the point that as long as there's a force present, then you can absolutely have water conform to the surface of the sphere, then that illustrates the point. Because their contention is that water is always flat and level, right? But if there are forces present, like gravity, or like surface tension and adhesion, or like, well, surface tension and adhesion is what usually does it, or wind, for example, then it can make water not be flat and level. And so this is a demonstration of that. From Furtive Patah with the $2, this Hebrew scholar sounds a bit fresh-knickered. I don't know, or fresh-knickered. That's good. That's a good use of that word. From Binary Ghosts with the $10. Thank you so much, Binary Ghosts. Sorry, I have to sneeze. Come on. Okay. The Bible is literal except when it's being metaphorical. It is dictated in a way for people at the time to understand, except when it's 100% how it is. Now we have, oh, that word is wrong. Yeah. I mean, look, like, he just wasn't particularly interested in engaging. And from Gretchen with the $3.11, need a BAC check on some of these guests. I don't think that that's necessarily true, or rather, I hope that not very many people are day drinking. That's just my hope, though. By the way, just as a quick shill, make sure to join the Discord server if you're 18+. It's type in discord.gg/drblitz or Dr. Blitz into Discord or into your browser, and you'll get a link to the Discord server. Also, if you want access to the emojis, including the new lava lamp emoji, all hail the lava lamp, illuminated by the lava lamp, let there be light, because I love lamp, including the new lava lamp emoji on YouTube anyway, become a member on YouTube. You'll get access to the emojis and you'll get access to the debate notes. And we're working on that on TikTok, by the way, so hold tight. Let's talk to Luca. Luca,
Hello?
how's it going?
Good.
Glad to hear it, Luca. Luca, what shape do you think the Earth is?
I think it's flat.
Okay. Why so?
I have a couple of points.
Sure, go ahead. So just before you start with the thing that you think is best. Is that fair?
Okay. Well, you think if they faked the Mars landing, they wouldn't fake everything else? Like the rover on Mars?
So if they faked the Mars landing, they wouldn't fake everything else?
Yeah, because
it might give you reason to be doubtful, sure. But I don't see what this has to do with the shape of the Earth.
Well, I'm just saying, if they faked the Mars landing, why don't you think they would fake the moon landing and the Earth being round?
Because NASA isn't the reason we think the Earth is round.
What is?
Eratosthenes, 2,250 years ago.
Okay. Well, could you also Google Earth from space?
I don't have to Google it. I can show you pictures that I know where they are. Okay. But by the way, before we change topics, why do you think the Mars landing was fake?
Well, because there's proof that it is. There's an exact picture from Devon Island, Canada.
So Devon Island is a place where training happens, but what's the evidence that this... So I know what photo you're talking about. I'll pull it up. Let's pull it up. You're referring to this, right? Let me pull it up. This picture, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the evidence that like the picture on the left was ever claimed to be a Mars photo?
Did it not come from NASA?
There's no evidence that it did. People just say it did. But like you can't find this on NASA's website.
Okay. I thought it was.
I mean, you'd have to like provide the evidence of that, right? But where's the evidence of that? Like typically what happens is that you'll just have, because Devon Island is a real place where training actually happens. But often what you'll see is that you'll have somebody either take a picture of Mars that actually comes from NASA, and then they'll just color correct it so that the sky is blue and the ground is grayer, and they'll say it comes from Devon Island, even though there's no confirmation that it actually came from Devon Island. Or they'll take a real picture that's confirmed to have come from Devon Island, and then color correct it to look red so that it looks like it came from Mars, but there's no confirmation it actually came from Mars. This is just people faking this stuff. It's not like there's never any confirmation that both of these places are in the places that people say they are.
Okay. I have one more point.
Yeah, sure.
If you look up a 1892 map, it's a map from 1892. It shows the Earth flat on the map.
All maps show the Earth flat, right? Because they're on pieces of paper?
Yeah, but also a globe map is different than a flat Earth map.
So are you talking about Gleason's map from 1892?
There's a lot of them. I don't know. You can just look up.
Well, the one that came out in 1892 was from Gleason.
Okay. Yeah.
And let me see if I can find a good picture of it, because they're always low resolution. You mean this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is Gleason's map. Now we should think there's a phrase here on here that it's too small. So to be clear, this is like a map, but do you know that globes existed before 1892?
No.
Oh, can I show you something?
Sure.
Yeah, one sec. I'm gonna have to dig through my photos on my phone, but let me go to Google Photos. Let me go to my albums. This is a photo I took, by the way, so that's how you can verify that it's true. And let me go to Central Europe 2023. Let me scroll to Vienna. Where is it? Okay, that's the museum. When was the opera? I saw the opera, by the way, which is cool. More people should see the opera. Not because it's like you have to do it, but because it's like it's a very culture. Here it is. It's a very culture thing to do. Okay, see this?
Yeah.
Okay, it's just a globe that's on display in a library. When do you think it was from? When do you think it was made?
I'm guessing around 1892.
No, it was from 1693. In fact, it actually says that it's from 1693 on the on the plaque below the globe, right? See, and it's like we know who made it. It was made by a fellow named Vincenzo Coronelli. It was made in 1693, which is, just checking, is almost 200 years before 1892.
Okay.
So it just seems like, okay, yeah, you're right. There was a guy who drew a map that flat earthers like to use in 1892, and there were globes before that.
Okay.
Anything else?
I'm also confused. Do you think clouds like curve?
Do I think clouds? I mean, clouds are really like lumpy. So
Yeah, but wouldn't they have to curve around the Earth? Because they can't go flat.
Only if they're big enough.
Yeah.
But sure, in that case, if you have like a single cloud that's like hundreds of miles across, then yeah, sure, it would be curved.
I don't see how a cloud can curve.
Why do you think it couldn't?
It just
also, clouds aren't that big. In fact, I'm curious, how big is the biggest cloud across? So cumulonimbus clouds, which are the biggest clouds, are miles across. Whereas in order for it to have to curve even 1 degree, it would have to be like 70 miles across. So cumulonimbus clouds just aren't that big. Like clouds just aren't that big on average.
The Earth's 1 mile on the Earth is 8 inches.
69 miles is 1 degree.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay, but
also to be clear, clouds aren't flat on the bottom, right?
Yeah.
So like, what are you gonna hold a level up to a cloud?
No, I just don't see how it could curve like that.
Why not?
Well, how many miles is that cloud? Like how many miles long?
So a few. It just says miles, but you know, if it was like hundreds of miles, I imagine it would say that.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your time.
Okay. Thanks for being here, Luca. All right, let's bring up, Marky Mark is back. Marky Mark, welcome back.
I have one question.
Yeah, sure.
If we're on a globe and we're spinning, how come the North Star has never changed position?
Because the North Star is along the axis of rotation. Also, it has changed position.
No, it hasn't, ever.
Yeah, it has.
It never has, man. You look up.
Do you want me to show you records of this? I can show you records of this if you're interested.
The North Star does not move. And for one, how in the world did the eclipse happen if the sun and the moon were the same size inside the firmament? Because
hold
if you take
hold on, chill. We're gonna go look at we're gonna go see if we can find an old almanac. Do you know what an almanac is?
Yeah, but man, you can't always believe shit that NASA make. NASA used to explore the freaking ocean, man. That's all they used to do, right?
No,
and so
that's
they
not
got
true.
so freaking
That's a myth.
scared of the ocean that they made up the
that's
bullshit.
A myth, by the way.
No, it's not. They made up the bullshit space. Put a T in NASA. What's it spell? Satan. What's the little red thing?
Where do you put? Sorry. Where do you put the T in NASA to spell Satan?
Just put T in it, and it spells Satan.
Where do you put it?
Put the letters together.
So NASAT?
No, just put it together. If you put a T in NASA, you can spell Satan with it.
Oh, you mean you can rearrange it? By the way, so here's a.
Correct.
This is just a lovely. Here, let me show you something.
And there's a red thing that's like a snake.
Hold on. We're showing you something. I'm showing you something. Can you see this?
Uh-huh.
So these are almanacs. This is from the British Official Nautical Almanac. Here we have the position. So Polaris is also known as Alpha Ursa Minor. It's the technical name. So here we have the declination. That is the
go to the pyramids where the pyramids are, and the ones that
Marky,
go up to
shut up
to the north.
and don't interrupt me while I'm explaining something, okay?
I don't believe in almanacs.
You don't believe in almanacs? So almanacs record the location of stars. You don't think that we can figure out where cars are from?
It's men doing it.
So
it's men doing it.
In 1834, we have Ursa Minor's declination of 88 degrees 25 minutes north. Then in 1923, we have 88 degrees and 53 minutes north. And then in 2018...
Wow, that didn't move very much.
But it did move. In
but
2018,
we're spinning so fast.
In 2018, the the declination is 89 degrees and 20 minutes north. So yeah, it definitely does move. It's just slow.
It doesn't move hardly at all.
But it does. So you agree that it does move?
No, it doesn't move. I don't believe.
I just showed you it moving. I just showed you.
You didn't show me anything.
I just showed you the position of the star.
Do the observation yourself.
Marky.
Do it yourself. Don't believe what everybody tells you.
Marky.
You can't believe everything everybody tells you. Do it yourself. Do the research yourself.
Marky, do you have a telescope?
I wish I did.
Oh, so then you haven't done it yourself, have you?
I haven't done it myself. I just know
so
it doesn't
then why do you
move.
think it hasn't moved if you haven't done it yourself?
Because it's in the same spot every freaking year, dude. It doesn't move.
Yes, clearly our eyeballs are accurate.
Okay, so in the Bible it says he created the firmament. He set the sun, the moon, the stars inside the firmament, right? So why on the eclipse? Listen, why on the eclipse did the sun and moon fit perfectly over each other? Because they're the same size.
Oh, they don't.
And the same distance.
They don't always. Are you familiar
Yes,
with an
they
annular?
do.
Are you familiar with an annular eclipse?
Dude,
Here, let me show you something.
perfectly. If you
are you familiar with an annular eclipse?
If you take a flashlight and you put it up on an object,
are you familiar with an annular eclipse?
Very
Here,
close.
let me show you an annular
it's the
eclipse.
same size on the wall.
So here's some photos of an annular eclipse.
Barely missing each other.
Yeah, so we agree that they don't fit perfectly, though, right?
They do on some eclipses. They fit perfectly.
On some of them, but not all of them.
That means they're the same size, dummy.
No, it doesn't. If they're the same size, why aren't they fitting over each other here?
Because it's a little bit down because they go around us in a different motion.
Wait,
and
so what about this middle one? Why is there a ring of the sun that you can see around the moon?
Because it's so bright.
So is the moon smaller than the sun?
Why doesn't the sun light up space, brother?
What would it light up? There's nothing in space.
Why wouldn't it light up? Why wouldn't the sun light up space?
There's nothing in space, brother.
Oh, the sun's supposed to be 30 million miles away.
No, it's 93 million miles away.
No, it's not. It's right where it's right in the same size as the moon. People
it's
don't
right
use
in the
your
same
head.
size as
You
the moon.
believe everything
Marky,
you're told, man.
How big do you think the moon is?
The moon is the same size as the sun.
Yeah, but how big is that?
I don't know. I use common sense.
And how can you say that?
I don't go, dude. I don't sit
Marky,
here and try to use numbers,
Marky,
science, and all this dumb stuff that you believe everything
Why
that
do
you're
you keep
told.
telling on yourself, Marky?
I don't believe science.
I'm sure you don't.
It's a total waste of space. There is no space. Yeah, it's true.
Why are you telling on yourself, Marky? I'm trying
I'm
to do
not
you a
telling
favor
on
here.
myself. I'm being true. The water's above and the water's below. We're in between it. There is a deep void amongst the waters, and he created the firmament between the waters above and the waters below. It's
Marky.
exactly how he created Earth.
Marky, so you're at a 9 right now?
But you believe everybody.
Marky.
Listen,
Marky,
you believe.
Marky, please, Marky.
They took
Marky, I'm a human being. You're a human being. And we have like a normal volume conversation. You talk, then I talk, and we let each other finish sentences and stuff.
Not when you're going. If you're going to use all this stuff that you have to look up that you didn't do yourself, there's no reason to have a conversation. Go in the Bible, read the Bible, look that up. Why don't you look up stuff in the Bible and tell us about that?
Marky, are you telling me that you just like don't want to have a conversation?
No, I'm saying, why don't you do your research from the Bible and then tell us?
Well, look, the way I view the Bible is probably different from the way you view the Bible. But we don't have to rely on the Bible because we can like make observations about the world ourselves, right?
Oh, by man?
Well, I mean, the Bible was written by men, right?
By who?
By men.
That was?
People.
Of God.
Lots of scientists believe in God.
Huh?
Lots of scientists believe in God. Lots of scientists are Christian.
Hardly. That's what, dude, they created the Big Bang so that people would not be followers of Christ. See, you're talking over me now.
Wait a minute. Do you know who first came up with the idea of the Big Bang?
There is no Big Bang. That is made up to make people not believe in God.
Marky,
how many more? See, you're interrupting.
Because you cut me off.
I didn't cut you off.
Marky, I asked, do you know who came up with the idea of the Big Bang?
I don't care about the Big Bang.
Okay, well, the person who came up with the idea of the Big Bang, his name was Georges Lemaitre. He was a Belgian priest. He believed in God.
Oh, Catholic priests like to do stuff to little kids, brother. People can lie.
He was a Jesuit.
Well, people can make stuff up, brother. They can make. He could have made that up.
Why would he if he was a Christian?
Did you know that they took the shape of the earth out of the Bible? They had it drawn up in the Bible, and they took it out. They took out a bunch of books from the Bible. Men,
sure. Why would a
men
Catholic,
that believe in the devil,
Jesuit,
people that are evil?
Why would a Jesuit come up with the idea of the Big Bang?
Maybe he's not a good Jesuit. Maybe he's a false Jesuit.
He was a priest.
Maybe
he was
he's
ordained.
A false priest. Maybe he's false.
Okay, so we agree then that Christians can be scientists, right?
That's very hard. I've never really come across one like that.
I can introduce you to one, not personally, but there's a fellow named Aaron Wall. He's very well known. He's a theoretical physicist.
Maybe
he's also a man of God.
Right.
He's super religious.
So he doesn't believe what God says about the Bible.
Oops, sorry, one sec.
He doesn't believe that how God created the earth. He doesn't believe in that. That's pretty rough. That's pretty rough.
One sec, my guy. Sorry, I accidentally screwed something up. Okay, so this is Aaron Wall's homepage. He's a theoretical physicist.
Dude, I can make up a resume.
So I actually know who this guy is. I actually know who this guy is. He's a theoretical physicist. Even on his website, he talks about his church.
What church is it?
The New Life Church of the Nazarene. That's what he grew up in. I guess he doesn't go to that anymore because he doesn't live in California anymore. But
he doesn't probably even go to church anymore, dude. He probably doesn't even believe in God.
Not only does he, on his website, it says, also, I'm a Christian. That means that I believe that God loves everybody, including the person reading this right now, no matter what you look like or what you've said, thought, or done. Instead of believing in karma, you get what you deserve. I believe in grace, giving freely without worrying about what people deserve. This means that it's my job to love other people like Jesus did and to try to be holy like he is holy. Doubtless I've fallen short of this in many ways, and for that I ask you to please forgive me. Right, it also means that I'm willing to accept that sometimes we can best approach the truth by contemplating head-scratching paradoxes, like God combining three persons into one being, or Jesus sharing our human condition while also being fully one with the Father. If you're curious how it's possible to fit science and theology together, and why I think my beliefs are supported by good historical evidence, I've written a lot about that on my blog, Undivided Looking. So he is a Christian, like a serious Christian, not just like a wishy-washy Christian, and a scientist, and he thinks that they can work together.
Okay, so why are there tens of millions of Christians that believe what I believe about the earth? Why is there so many? And he's
why are there so many flat earthers? Because there are a lot of people who are very misguided.
No, that's why you have this argument. You're talking about
Christians
one scientist.
Think that the earth is
You're talking about one person, dude. You're talking about one person.
I'm giving you an example.
I can give you all kinds of pastors and preachers that believe the earth is flat.
That's not a good look for you. So you probably don't want to do that. But look, we can there are polls that have been taken. there are polls that have been taken of scientists in the United States, and something like 40% of them believe in a God.
Why don't you just start praying for God to show you what the earth looks like?
Well, I don't believe in a God. I don't believe in a God, and I don't think that whether or not I believe in God is related to whether or not the earth is flat.
We don't need to be talking. That's 100% why you have a problem believing it, because that's what they want you to do.
I know you want to preach really, really badly.
Listen. They want you to believe. Listen, they want you to believe that the earth is this big bang space, so that it gets you off track of believing in the God that created an earth that is unbelievable, and he put it between waters. The blue sky, what do you think that is? That's water. You're looking at blue. That's water above the firmament.
Do you think that water is the color of the sky?
Oh, it's blue. That's water, baby. Yeah.
Do you think that sky blue is the same thing as ocean blue?
It's water. What color is water?
Have you ever seen water that's the color of the sky?
Water's blue, man.
There's different kinds of blue.
Deep blue
Surely
sea.
you understand that, right?
Deep blue sea. That's what they call it, right? Deep blue sea?
You understand that there's different kinds of blue, right?
It doesn't matter, man. You're not a believer.
Matter.
You don't believe in God. This world's got you, to where you don't believe in him because of all the stupid science stuff and the Big Bang and this and that. And I got saved in my kitchen, had a supernatural experience, baptized in the Holy Spirit, given a vision. You have no idea who God is and how real he is, brother. And you're going to have to deal with that one day.
Whether or not God is real, the earth is not flat. It is a sphere. Right.
I said it was a sphere. That's part of the.
Wait, you think that the earth is a globe?
That's a part of the different language for circle and the Greek.
Wait, hold on. You're not a flat earther?
And the Hebrew. I said it was a sphere over a flat earth.
Okay, so the earth is the ground. The thing that the earth is made out of is definitely a sphere. And that's true regardless of whether or not God exists.
The earth is flat. The earth is flat, and there's a sphere that goes over the earth like a snow globe. It's called he stretched the sky like a molten.
So if it's like a snow globe, is it a sphere? Does a snow globe have a sphere on it?
Well, it's kind of like a circle, it goes over.
Called a hemisphere.
See what I mean? How you like to call it? You know what I'm talking about?
It's a hemisphere, right? It's not like a full sphere.
It's like you know what I'm talking about. I don't need to go into detail to explain it.
I thought that we should use our words precisely.
Did you look up in the Bible where he says it stretched the sky like a molten metal glass, a mirror?
The Bible's kind of irrelevant to the conversation.
That's what he says.
If the shape of the earth is actually flat, we should be able to figure that out for ourselves. Similarly, if the earth is actually a globe, then we should be able to figure that out for ourselves.
You got to have something. Why do the planes fly so much lower at the ends of the earth?
Where are the ends of the earth?
Why do they fly lower, dude?
No, where? I don't know where you're referring to.
1 minute they're flying at
where are you referring to?
30,000, and the next minute they're flying at like 17 because they can't.
Where?
I don't know. I've just seen it somewhere.
So you don't even know what you're referring to?
Oh, I'm telling you to look it up whenever you have time.
Wait, so what should I look up? Tell me. We'll do it right now.
Just like on the other side, other side of Earth, how high do planes fly? Or I don't know. How
high do planes fly on the other side of the Earth? Okay, let's just type it in. Typed it into Google. Planes fly at similar altitudes everywhere on Earth, including the other side, because altitude is determined by air density, engine efficiency, and safety, not location. While they maintain roughly the same height relative to the Earth's surface, which curves with them, factors like wind, weight, and air traffic control might cause slight variations. Okay. Sounds about right. Oh, he teacupped. Marky Mark, I can't hear you when you're off the app.
I wasn't off the app. That's weird. I did that. It should usually show up. So what I'm saying, do you ever look up anything under DuckDuckGo that doesn't censor anything or lie like Google and Safari? Do you ever do DuckDuckGo?
Absolutely. I'll use DuckDuckGo if you want. I think DuckDuckGo is owned by Google now, though, isn't it? Here's DuckDuckGo. Here we go. Now, DuckDuckGo doesn't really have, it has a search assistant, but I don't actually know if it's like, I don't know if it's powered by Google or whatever, but this says, the search assistant on DuckDuckGo says planes fly at similar altitudes regardless of their location on Earth, typically between 30,000 and 42,000 feet for commercial flights. And we can go look at some websites, like from Biology Insights, how high do planes fly, from Florida Flyers Flight Academy, Ultimate Guide, how high do planes fly. We can go look at these. Do you want, by the way, when you're off the app, I can't hear you. when the app is minimized or when you're looking at some other app. So which of these links do you want me to click?
No, I'll put on
like
here
here's
and follow
one.
you. I'll follow
corner.
you and then I'll find out where I got it at.
This one says most often commercial airplanes fly anywhere between 30 and 42,000 feet in the air, which equals 5 to 7 miles. So it just seems like that's what DuckDuckGo says.
Have you ever talked to a pilot and found out that?
Yeah, I have some mutuals on here who are pilots that also think the Earth is a globe.
No, they say it's flat. I've talked to pilots personally.
So have I.
And they said it does not curve at all.
And the pilots I've spoken to have said that it's a globe.
Because they're liars.
Or
they
the
have
ones
to
that
lie.
Wait, are the ones that you're talking to? How do you know the ones that you're talking to are not liars?
Because they're Christians.
Okay. Can Christians not lie?
They try hard not to.
Okay, but they do lie sometimes, right?
Does science lie? Does scientists lie?
Individual scientists? Sometimes, yeah.
All the time.
I mean, scientists are humans.
They're
All humans lie
big-time
sometimes.
liars. They're atheists, man. They don't believe in God.
Like 40% of scientists in the United States are religious. They believe in God.
I don't believe that.
Okay. You don't have to believe it. It doesn't make it not true.
If they believe that there's a space and there's all this up, they don't believe in God.
Okay, you know that that's a no true Scotsman fallacy, right?
There's no proof. There's no. I want to go to a scientist's place. I want to look in the telescope, and I want to see all this stuff that they're saying that they're seeing.
You know that.
That's what I want to see.
Let me show you something.
And how all these other people talk about.
Let me show you something.
Even the pilots going to the moon said it was a false landing. They never went.
No, they didn't. But that's okay. That's okay. If you want to lie to yourself, that's fine.
They didn't go to the moon.
That's fine. If you want to lie to yourself, that's okay.
They've admitted it.
No, they didn't. Anyway, so here's a poll amongst scientists. Religious belief amongst scientists. That's the name of the poll. And so all scientists, 33% believe in God. 18% don't believe in God, but do believe in a universal spirit or higher power. 41% don't believe in either. Now, among these,
that means that's pretty high, brother.
So a third of all scientists believe in God explicitly?
No. You got to include that 18 and that 41 too. All of it.
Wait, wait.
All of it.
So blue are people who don't believe in God. Green are people who do believe in God.
Okay, you said who?
So
33 believe, right?
Yeah. So a third of all scientists in the United States believe in God.
41 and 18 don't.
Well, 18 believe in like a higher power, but they don't believe in God.
It doesn't matter.
So
it's
like,
not God. There's only two.
Okay.
Jesus and God. That's it. Yahuwah and Yahushua. That's his real name.
It's
That's
Yeshua.
God.
Yeshua, by the way. That's what Jesus is.
Yahusha.
It's a Hebrew name.
Yahusha.
It's a Hebrew name. You know that, right? It's not English letters.
It's his real name, brother.
Do you want to just go look up like the well, I guess it's Aramaic actually. Do you want to go look up like the Aramaic version of Jesus?
Yahusha is Yahuwah and Yahusha.
These are not English letters, right?
I know they're not.
So why are you telling me English letters?
What do you mean?
You're saying like YAHU blah blah. The original names were not in Hebrew, or were not in English. They were in.
They're still
another language.
They're transferring the letters. Yahusha. That's how you spell it. What? You look it up. Yahuwah and Yeshua.
It's a Yeshua.
It's Yahusha.
It's
Yahusha.
There's no hey. So the letter that you're looking for that makes an H sound is the letter hey in Hebrew and in Aramaic, and that letter is not present in the name.
Dude, look up. Just type in Yahuwah and Yahusha.
I'm gonna type in Yahusha.
YAHUSHA.
YAHUSUSHA. Okay. Yeah, let's type that in. I typed in Yahusha. Right? Typed into Google.
Yeah, there it is. Yahusha.
Well, yeah, so there's a bunch of stuff we want to go figure out. Was that like his actual name?
Yes, it was. 100%.
Name in Hebrew. Let's look. So Yahusha is a proposed specific Hebrew pronunciation form for Jesus' name, emphasizing Yahoo as Yahoo saves, differing from the more common.
J didn't even enter our alphabet until 500 years later.
Differing from the more common accepted Yeshua or Yehoshua. While Yeshua means salvation or Adonai saves, Yahusha is favored by some Hebrew root sacred name believers who preserve the Father's name within the Son's, though it's not in the original Greek New Testament.
That's the original Greek New Testament.
Yeah, the New Testament was written in Greek. You know that, right? Oh, brother, you don't know that. Oh, boy.
That's not the original Bible. Is not in Greek.
The Christian Bible was originally written in Greek, and I think some Aramaic.
Aramaic. That's what I was gonna say.
No, but like the Gospels were originally Greek.
Okay. Well, and Aramaic.
Actually, let's check. Was any part of the New Testament written in Aramaic? No, the New Testament was written.
What about the Old Testament? What are you
that was written in Hebrew, and Jesus isn't mentioned. Jesus isn't mentioned in that book. So, like in the Hebrew Bible,
he comes in the Father's name.
No, but the name Jesus isn't present anywhere, right?
So like
matter. It's not relevant to the spelling of the word. But it's just that's just not anywhere in the Hebrew Bible,
right? You just looked it up, dude.
So the New Testament was written in Koine Greek.
Yahusha, and it popped up. You just looked up Yahusha.
No,
and it
the New Testament was written in Koine Greek, the common language of the Roman Empire.
The New Testament, dude. You got.
I'm sorry, Jesus isn't mentioned in the Old Testament, my guy.
There was no J for 500 years. The Bible
Jesus wasn't mentioned in the Old Testament. He's nowhere to be found there.
You don't think maybe his name wasn't, but he's mentioned, buddy.
Well, but we're arguing over his name. So if his name's not present, then we can't use the Hebrew Bible to figure out what his name was.
He comes in the Father's name. Yahuwah, Yahusha.
So to be clear, hold on, Marky.
Just look up Yahuwah and Yeshua.
Wait, Marky,
look those two up together.
Marky, we are currently arguing over what Jesus's original name was in its original language, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If that's what we're arguing about, and we want to find a source that talks about it, we would need to go find the earliest mentions of him that include his name, right?
I can't believe it's snowing out here.
We would need to go find the earliest places that his name is recorded, and then read that, right?
Dude, I went and I was watching this guy that completely did all the concordance from the Greek, Hebrew,
Why can't
Aramaic.
You just answer or address, engage with what I'm saying at all? Why is every single time I ask a question, you just deflect and completely change the topic?
Okay, then answer this. Why when you look Yahuwah up and Yeshua up, why does it pop up?
Why does what? You can Google anything and something will always pop up. That doesn't mean anything.
Dude, what does it say his name is? Yahusha.
It says his name is Yeshua.
That is the wrong spelling.
You realize that the original Greek is Iosos, and that is a transliteration of a Aramaic or Hebrew name, Yeshua. You understand that, right?
I'm looking it up right now.
Okay. We were so far off topic. All right, let's talk to Joe. All right, Joe's not here. Let's talk to Jaybird. Jaybird, how's it going?
Good, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Jaybird, what shape do you think the Earth is?
I don't think I know it's flat.
Okay, cool. I mean, like, when I say think, I'm just, we have thoughts about things, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so why? What makes you come to that conclusion?
Honestly, for me, it was the stars that changed my mind, but there's a lot of other problems I see.
What about the stars, if you don't mind me asking?
I grew up I grew up an outdoorsman. I'm a hunter. Grew up in the woods. Spent a lot of my life out there, so I don't get this from Google, but I know for a fact on the right night with the right conditions, I can see almost all the same stars all year long, and I just don't understand how that's possible if we're a spinning ball that orbits the sun as the sun is shooting through space.
So, Jaybird, do you happen to know the zodiacal constellations? You know, like Sagittarius and Libra and Cancer and Gemini, all these things?
I mean, I'm familiar with those terms, but you know, I couldn't exactly point them all out.
Yeah, so they are constellations, though. We agree on that, yeah?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so why do you think the month of, say, June is associated with Cancer, the constellation?
I could not tell you.
Because you can't see that constellation in June.
Depending on where you're observing from or anywhere.
Nowhere on Earth can you see that constellation in June.
Okay.
Similarly, if you are a Leo, is Leo July?
Leo is August.
Okay, Leo is August. So if
July, maybe
like the end of July,
well.
right? At the beginning of August, nowhere on Earth can you see the constellation Leo. So the fact that you can't see these constellations means that there are stars that you can't see depending on the time of year.
So yeah, I can't argue that because I couldn't tell you for sure, but I could tell you the stars that I can see all year long, and you know, that would be the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper.
Yep, those stars, because they are basically
at a certain point in the horizon.
They're basically like near the North Star.
Right.
You can see them. You can see them year round, depending on your latitude. If you're in the northern hemisphere, basically the way to think about it is that think of like the Earth going around the sun, right? So there are some stars that are like in the same plane as the Earth's sun. So like there are some stars that are like, you know, horizontal, and there are some stars that are like actually. Let me just get a Let me just pull up a diagram really quick because this will be otherwise really confusing. To explain without.
I think it's everything above like a 15-degree angle in the sky you can see all year long. Is that how they say it?
So here's a diagram of roughly what I mean. So imagine imagine that there are stars all around. There's stars like above and below the sun, and then there's also stars to like the side of the sun, right?
Right.
So there will be stars over here. And there will be stars over here. But if there's a star over here, you will never be able to see it when the Earth is over here, right?
Correct. Agreed.
Because the sun will be in the way.
Agreed.
However, if there's a star up here, you'll be able to see it as long as it's like sufficiently far away, sufficiently high up. You'll be able to see it year round because it's like the sun never blocks it. It just might be at different places in the sky depending on what time of year it is. Similarly, if there's a star down here, people in the southern hemisphere will be able to see it. And so the North Star is like way up here. It's like like way up here, so you can always see it. And then like
if you draw a straight arrow,
and then
from
other stars. Well, okay, it's like actually technically like over here, but and then other stars will be like over here, and so you can see those depending on where you are on Earth. Of course, you can see those all year round. But the stars that are like over here and over here, those stars you will never see year round.
Right, you got a completely different view of space. You're looking two different directions.
Right.
All right, so I might have to educate myself better on where they say certain constellations are and if I can still see them.
So there's a really good app, by the way, that I would recommend. It's called Skyview. I think it's free. And I like to go out and look at the stars. Like it's something that I really enjoy. And what it does is that like you put in your location and then it puts like an overlay on your phone. And then you can like hold it up to stuff and it'll be like, oh, like that star that you can see, it'll like overlay it with like what constellation it's in or whatever. It's like an AR augmented reality kind of app. It's really cool.
What's that one called?
It's called Skyview.
Okay, yeah.
And it's free. And this is I'm not like a shill for them. I just like the app. It's just a good app.
Oh, yeah, no. Listen, I think we're all just trying to better ourselves and educate ourselves, and that's all I've ever been trying to do. And I don't. You know, I used to be a globe earther, so I don't look at you guys degradingly. I was once that. I'm big on astronomy. I know a lot of the numbers by heart. I memorize a lot of things, so it wasn't an easy switch for me. This was something that took a long time, and it still may be out of ignorance. I'm not going to tell you that I haven't been fooled for certainty, because that would make me a fool, right?
Sure.
To think that I know everything for sure. But there's a lot of other big problems that nobody can explain. Like, this doesn't have anything to do with the shape of the Earth, but the sun. What do they tell us the sun is? Why is it burning?
Well, it's not fire, right? It's just a basically hot ball of plasma, and it's heated up on the inside by basically nuclear power.
So this is why they say it requires no oxygen to burn, because it's not
right, because it's not burning.
Fire.
Yeah, it's not a fire.
Okay. Another thing I really don't understand is how is space, which is, they say, a near perfect vacuum, adjacent to a finite atmosphere without a barrier, and it doesn't just suck the atmosphere right off of the Earth?
Well,
that's something I can't understand.
There's no place, and yeah, I can help. So there's no place where it goes from, like, in the globe model. It's not like there's atmosphere and then the atmosphere suddenly ends, and then there's space, right? It's like a gradual transition. And so there's nowhere where there's like high pressure next to a vacuum where you would have like air being sucked out or whatever.
But I mean,
that just doesn't happen anywhere.
In the greater scheme of things, that near perfect vacuum doesn't have according to NASA, doesn't have a barrier in between that and the finite atmosphere of Earth.
Right, but it doesn't need it's a gradient, right? So like there's never a place where there's high pressure next to low pressure, which is what you would need in order to have like pressure flow, in order for like the vacuum to suck the air out.
Right, but without a barrier, our finite atmosphere is exposed. So
yeah, so gas, look, vacuums don't just like suck, right? What happens is that whenever you have air pressure like pushes, it's just basically air molecules bouncing off of each other really hard. And so it ends up pushing out in all directions. And so if there was nothing pulling those air molecules towards us, towards the Earth, then yeah, they would just bounce off each other and spread out. But there is something pulling it towards us, that's gravity.
Right. That, yeah, I have a hard time wrapping my mind around how they use gravity to explain that.
I mean, like, gravity pulls on everything. Why would it not pull on the air?
I just don't see, like, I don't see where you can recreate gravity on a scale, and at what scale can you start to observe gravity?
We can see gravity at the scale of like milligrams.
Can you elaborate?
Yeah. So let me show you a neat experiment that was done. At least like the paper about it was written 4 years ago. It was probably done a few years before that. It's hard to know that these things. So here's a paper conducted by a team of scientists in Europe, in Austria, where basically what they did is they took two tiny metal spheres. These are just like tiny gold spheres. I think that they're like 1 millimeter or like 2 millimeters across. So they're solid gold. They're just like super, super tiny, right? And then basically they hung it from a string. So you have these two gold spheres. They connected them by a rod and then hung it from a string. And then basically you can test forces on the gold spheres by seeing how much the string twists, right? And you can measure how much the string twists by like attaching a mirror and then bouncing a laser. Like there's a whole way to do this. But anyway, what you can do is you can then just take another small gold sphere and put it next to one of them. And if the whole thing starts to twist, that's because the gold sphere was attracted to the other gold sphere by gravity. Unless you have some alternative explanation for why it was attracted in exactly the right amount. Well, that's a demonstration of two things with mass attracting each other.
It seems to me that there would be some variables beyond your control, like what kind of string are they using? They got the rod, silica, and what other forces could be taking place. So
that's exactly those are perfectly good questions, which is exactly what they addressed. So let me show you the entire. So good scientists will address all of the variables that they can think of. So there's the entire half of the paper, second half of the paper rather, is describing the geometry, the characteristics of the pendulum, the calibration, And then there's a whole section on, let me see if I can find it. There's a whole section on, they call it, I thought that they had a whole section on error. No, they just have individual sections for each of the individual things. So they have a section on, well, it was done in a vacuum, right, to eliminate any possible wind. So they put it in the whole thing in a giant vacuum container. They isolated it from vibration, so they put the whole thing on deflated air springs, so that even if like there was a little earthquake or something, they would isolate it away from that. And if there was like, you know, because people stepping on the ground can cause tiny vibrations, so they isolated it away from vibrations. This is just a detail about the source mass position drive. We don't have to worry about that. They measured the electric charges on the gold spheres, so that they could subtract off any effect that comes from the electrostatic forces. They isolated away, or they measured seismic noise using separate detectors, so they could throw away any results that were the result of small earthquakes. They removed a source of mechanical coupling in the form of recoil. They minimized magnetic coupling using, by excluding ferromagnetic materials. They accounted for basically every single thing that you could think of, they accounted for. And all that's left, there's only one thing left. It's gravity. It's the only other thing it could be.
That's a fair conclusion if everything is, you know, genuine in the paper and the study. You know, I do have other concerns like being able to see too far, and in my opinion, that would mean they're either very far off on how big they say the Earth is, or it's not a globe.
Well, I mean, look, I've heard this claim a lot. People say, oh, we can see too far, but most of the time when people say that we can see too far, either A, they're lying, and we have documented cases of this happening. It's not common, but it does happen occasionally. Or B, they're not accounting for atmospheric effects. So I can just give you a simple example of this. There is a city or a town called Muskegon somewhere.
Out by Rome or Italy somewhere, right?
No, Muskegon, Michigan.
Oh, Michigan. Oh, you're talking about seeing over the Lake Michigan.
Yeah. So there's something called the Lights of Milwaukee. The Lights of Milwaukee are something that you can occasionally see from Muskegon in Michigan. Milwaukee, I guess, is on the other side of Lake Michigan. It's about 80 miles away. Occasionally, you can see the skyline of Milwaukee from Muskegon, from the shore. Now, people say, oh, well, you shouldn't be able to see that. It's 80 miles away. You shouldn't be able to see these buildings, blah, 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 blah. But what they neglect to mention is that you can only ever see this occasionally. And the reason why you can only ever see it occasionally is because it requires certain atmospheric phenomena, right?
Correct.
Like in the same way that like occasionally when the weather is just right, when the humidity is just right, you can see like a ship floating above the ocean. Like a mirage almost. It's not quite a mirage in this case, but it's like similar to that. And so
I think that's an easy scapegoat to.
But my point is that if once you account for atmospheric conditions, all of these examples of we see too far, none of them stand up. Not a single one.
So what about, you know, like a Navy ship can have a direct line of sight on another vessel 20 or more miles away, and that should, so you can't really measure curve over rocky terrain, right? You can't measure curve over land, but you should be able to measure curvature accurately over the ocean.
So there's some places, there's some places where you can, like on salt flats, for example. Salt flats are like really, because they're,
yeah,
you know,
but
they're
even
flats,
then,
right?
I don't feel like you're getting a genuine measurement, but over water, you should be able to get a good idea of the curvature.
The trouble with over water is that over water you get atmospheric effects more frequently because water is often much colder than the air, right? And so you can get
but
yeah.
But like, how big of a variable would that give you? So
it can be a very significant variable.
But I mean, according
to be clear,
what they say,
how tall are these ships that can get line of sight? How tall is the radar mast?
Right, there's a lot of different variables, right? But so the whole point is, though, they say the Earth is 24,901 miles in circumference, and they also that would dictate a curvature of 8 inches per mile squared. I've heard a lot of arguments with this, but that's what the math comes out to, right?
Not really. It's like 1 degree every 1 degree every 69 miles is the usual number that you should use.
What? Say it again.
1 degree every 69 miles.
But from a certain observation point, that would, how do I say this? That would drastically increase the farther you go away from the observer, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so it's 2 degrees in, 138 miles. It's 3 degrees and, Anyway, so by the way, I just punched this into a nice simulator. It's called the Advanced Earth Curve Calculator. It's a nice resource for studying what we would expect to see given the curvature of the Earth, right? So I just looked up how tall is the radar mast on an aircraft carrier, right? And apparently 250 feet. So I just punched in 225 feet. So we have one observer that's 225 feet above the water. And so that's where the radar is going from. And then the other one, let's just say it's also 225 feet because, they're both ships. Maybe they're roughly equal size. The question is how far away could you see the top of the radar tower from one radar tower to the next? Because if you can see them, then you can get a radar link, right? Or a radio link. And so it turns out you could get a radio link 36 miles away from each other. Direct line of sight, not hidden by the Earth's curves. And that's with no atmospheric refraction. Once we introduce standard atmospheric refraction, which is just normal behavior, it can go out to 39 miles, almost 40 miles.
Interesting. Now, I can't confirm this for sure, but I'm pretty sure I've heard of distances of about 100 miles that a Navy ship can target a vessel, and I'm not so sure that's direct line of sight or not.
Yeah, so
but that wouldn't be possible.
I've heard people say things like this, but they never give me specifics, so it's really hard to check what they mean.
Yeah. And then I know there's infrared cameras now that can see way further, and I'm not too educated on that yet. This is something I dabbled in, a decade ago, and I never, never stayed on it. I live a normal life. I'm out there working every day. I don't have time to educate myself on all this. So I think you probably are far more educated. Are you a PhD or a doctor?
Yeah, I have a PhD in physics.
Okay, yeah. So obviously you would be far more educated on this stuff than me.
So with regards to the infrared stuff, I've seen there's basically one video that is the source of this claim. It's on YouTube, and then people have basically spread it around ever since that video came out. Basically, what happens is that you have a guy in a plane who has an infrared camera, and he sticks it out the window, and then he points to something vague, and then he says, but that thing is over 1,000 miles away. How can I see it? But he never verifies that the thing is actually the thing that he thinks it is. He never verifies how far away it is. It's basically just vibes based, which is really unfortunate because people make these kinds of claims a lot, and never actually substantiate it. But for example, if you're flying in an airplane with standard atmospheric refraction, you would be able to see something that's say 225 feet tall from 250 miles away. Now, of course, it would be absolutely tiny, so you would need a good telephoto zoom lens or something like this. But you can definitely see hundreds of miles, not 1,000 miles. But seeing an object 250 miles away that's 225 feet tall, that's doable.
Yeah, I don't understand how that would be doable on a ball the size they say it is.
Because you're in a plane 35,000 feet up in the air.
Oh, you're talking about from an airplane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because that's where these claims are about the the infrared stuff. They're like, oh, well, we're in a plane and we can see something 1,000 miles away. They never verify that. So
okay, because I've seen claims where they're standing on a mountain and they can see other mountain ranges that are hundreds of miles away, and I haven't confirmed the math myself, but
so the thing is you're standing on a mountain looking at other mountains. It's
right.
easy to you're very high up. The thing that you're looking at is very high up. If you were on a 14,000, let's just punch this in. If you're on a 14,000 foot mountain, that's pretty big, but it's not like the Himalayas, right? Let's see how far away you could see it from. You could see that mountain from. You could see that that mountain peak from over 300 miles away. Right.
Jeez. Yeah, it looks like I'm just it sucks because I can't leave the app to look up other things that I know I had problems with, but you've had a great answer for everything I brought up. So
can I show you something really quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so this is, by the way, this guy's website, Walter Bislin. His website is like, it's very thorough, and it goes through all of the math to run all of the simulations. So like, everything's documented, all of the sources are given. And so what this guy did is he basically took a few very famous, let me make this a little bit smaller, a few very famous like images that are, either proof of the globe or proof of whatever. And then he just used his calculator that does the math and sees, does it match? So like we can take, I don't know, I think that this, no, this is not the example. Here's the Chicago city skyline, for example. So, wait, where's the actual simulation? Oh yeah, here we go. So let's start over. So here it is. We are currently 3.4 kilometers away, and now we're crossing Lake Michigan. The left side is what you would see on a flat Earth. The right side is what you would see on a globe Earth.
Interesting.
Now at 91 kilometers, you shouldn't see anything from the globe. Chicago disappeared behind the curvature of the Earth at 91 kilometers. And now we're going to zoom in. You should be able to see the entirety of the skyline if the Earth was flat, but you still wouldn't see the sorry, I wish I could pause this. You still wouldn't see the Chicago city skyline until you climb a nearby hill. Now, if you climb a nearby hill, then you can see the Chicago city skyline from, 80 whatever kilometers away. But now you should be able to see the skyline below eye level if the Earth was flat. So like it's these kinds of things that you can check.
Yeah, I think I've seen videos where guys are standing at the water line and they claim to be able to see, the whole city of Chicago. And there's people that argue that they're only seeing the tops of the buildings, and it just goes back and forth, and there's no real.
Let me show you one other thing. I think it's here. So here are some photos. These are just photos taken of like various bridges, for example. Let me see is there a Chicago City skyline one? There might be. Let me just search Chicago. Okay, no, they don't do Chicago. But like, yeah, we can just go look at this example. So this is like Pontchartrain. And so this is an actual photo on the right? This is just like an actual photo that you can take with a camera. And so that's what it really looks like. On the left, this is what it would look like if we were on a globe. This is what it would look like if the Earth was flat. Globe, flat. And so like, which one is,
obviously
which one better matches, right?
The real photo. Yeah.
And you can see this with like all of these, all of these pictures of bridges. You can make all of these comparisons. Here's another one. Here's the globe picture, or here's the photo on the right, the globe picture on the left, the flat Earth model. Like it just doesn't match. So look, there's just a lot of issues with any sort of flat Earth claim.
Yeah, I remember another one was the Panama Canal. A lot of claims that there is no visible curvature, and it goes for I don't know how many miles, tens of miles, I think.
Well, I don't know do you mean like which direction curvature?
Just from one end of the canal to the other. It's pretty consistent and flat.
It's not a single canal, and it's not flat either. The canal was dug through mountains and hills, so there's a whole bunch of different locks. Let me show you. Let me show you a diagram. This is like a. That's not what I want. Here we go. So like this is regardless of like the shape of the Earth. Like it's definitely not flat because it's going over mountains basically. So you have to. So there's a whole bunch of canal locks that bring it up to get over the mountains, and then let it back down on the other side, right?
I was always under the assumption there was no locks. So if there's locks,
there's a lot.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Then yeah. So there's so much misinformation out there. It's like unless you really educate yourself on this, then I guess it's easy to be fooled.
Yeah, I mean the thing is,
there's so many different angles to come from. I mean, who's got the time to do that unless you dedicate your life to it?
Yeah, I mean, look, the trouble is that there's a lot of people will. All it takes is one bad actor, right, to post a TikTok video or post a Facebook meme or whatever it is, and then as long, like, let's say that they were just like lying, they were just making stuff up. But then all it takes is one bad actor to lie and make stuff up, and then it spreads, and then people believe it based off of, you know, the one photo or like the something, you know, the one piece of evidence, whatever it might be, even if it's doctored. And unless you go and you double check it yourself, it's really easy to just believe it.
Yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately, there's too many people willing to just align themselves with one side, just maybe for whatever reasons they have. It's just too easy to talk people into something now.
Yeah, I mean, it's really a shame, because one thing that I've heard this from a flat earther before. I think this was actually in the Flat Earth documentary. It's if you become like a diehard flat earther, if that becomes like your whole shtick, it's very easy to lose your friends and your family, just because they'll be like, oh, he's crazy, absolutely. Right? Like, it's super easy.
Yeah.
And so what ends up happening for a lot of people who are deep in this stuff, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about like the people who are deep in it, right? What ends up happening is that the only community, the only people that they can socialize with are other people who agree with them already. And if they then realize, oh yeah, that was I was wrong, you know, it's not flat, it's a sphere, you know, it's not a giant conspiracy or whatever. If they then realize that, they've already given up on their family, their friends, and now the one community that they did have, you know, social connection with will now turn on them and treat them like the enemy. So it's very hard to leave once you get too deep in it, because it's all you have, right? And, you know, we're humans, like, we rely on social interactions. It's really hard to leave once you're in it already. So I don't know. There's a lot of interesting sociology here, but Jaybird, I do appreciate you for being totally normal guy. Anything else you want to mention before I let you go?
No, nothing off the top of my head, but I appreciate you taking the time to explain these things to me, and you know, I wish you the best.
Sounds good, man. Take care. He was a nice guy. I appreciated that. Nice guy, willing to listen, willing to hear stuff that he didn't know about. Let's read some super chats. So from Jack Fetter with the $2, day drinking, it's happy hour somewhere. Hashtag Lava Lord. I think we need, I think our hashtag needs to be like, hashtag, like, it could be like hashtag I love lamp or hashtag ILL. Maybe we need like, hashtag, you know, red hot for lava, RHFL. I don't know. We need something. From Macro Sue with the $2. I saw a map on my flat PC monitor, thus flat Earth. Yeah, there you go. We'll work something out. From Encifrium with the $5. Blitz, I'm here to remind you that you're too nice and bottle feed the bottom feeders who only want to hear their own voice and sniff their own farts. Not everybody does. And look, I'm more than happy to talk to a dozen bottom feeders if it means I get a chance to talk to somebody like Jaybird, because Jaybird is a normal guy who had some questions and was willing to listen to the answers, and I think that that's worth it. From Coco's with the 10 Polish złoty, hail Nasat. Yeah, there you go. That's where you put the T, right at the end. And from Juiced with the €5, you people believe everything they say is what they shout while blindly following the Bible and believing what it says. Yeah, some flat earthers, that's the reason why they're a flat earther, yeah. And from a Dwayne Warren with the $5, Marky, if we can't rely on third-party confirmed information, we would never get anywhere in life. That's true. From Glitterlock with the $10, oh, what? Oops, the TikTok super chats went away. I'm sorry. From Glitterlock with the $10, maybe Nasat is the adversary of lamp. And if you rearrange the letters of lamp and ignore one, you get map. It all makes sense. It's all coming together. From Binary Ghosts with the $5, this whole waters above, waters below, and firmament thing really strikes me as talking about aquifers and the crust of the earth. Maybe, but I could believe that the Hebrews thought that the space was water. From a Dwayne Warren with the $2, a creation event doesn't disprove God. You're right, it doesn't. From Karen Dave with the $2, DuckDuckGo aggregates results from Google and Bing. Yeah, that kind of checks out. From Ekipo with the 250 euro, I hope these people are a minority. Are they? Yes, these people are in a minority, but not as small a minority, minority as you might think. $2 Australian from Jessica. I too one day wish to visit a scientist place. What? From Dog Eyes with the $15. Thank you so much, Dog Eyes. Because they're Christians. Like Christians don't lie. Society is yeah, look. Christians can lie. In fact, Christians do lie. From Binary Ghost with the $10. If I were the Christian Satan, I would spend my time convincing Christians to be willfully ignorant and obnoxiously proud of it in the name of their Lord. Much better plan than the world is round. LOL. That's true. Honestly, maybe that's a good point to bring up. LLTW lamp. Oh, we'll get to that. From Furtive Patal with the $2. There was no J is the biggest giveaway with them. There wasn't a J. You're right. There was no H or A either. From David with the $5. Why would Trump have authored the Bible in anything other than his native language? Trump? This talk of Hebrew and Greek is nonsense. Okay. Good meme. From Jack Snipes with the $5. Timu Thor has zero critical thinking skills, deflecting conversations away from things, and mad he won't answer your question. What a clown. You're off topic. Who's Timu Thor? Was it me? Am I Timu Thor? Okay. $5 Australian from Jessica. Blitz, could you please stop pivoting and just answer my question? Caller, all right, well, let me ask you this. I know, it's so frustrating. Keeping people linear is hard. And we have $2 from Gerain with the 8 inches per mile squared, so you're a parabolic earther? Yeah, parabolic earther indeed. But kind of in the opposite direction, right? I think you need a negative sign. From Binary Ghost with the $5. Thank you so much, Binary Ghost, for always being so supportive, by the way. The Earth may be round, but why don't we make it flat? Scare off those joyriding aliens that come here to build pyramids just to mess with us. Agreed, we should do it. Gretchen with the $3. Blitz, you need a lava lamp shaped like a globe. That's a good idea. I'm sure they exist. And from Tim Davidson, this one's good. This one might be a good hashtag. LLTW, lava, or maybe LLLTW, lava lamp lights the way. That might be the way to do it, right? I actually like that a lot. Lava lamp lights the way. Maybe we'll do that one. Let me check for any Cash App or anything like that, so then I don't miss anything. Shay did send $50 earlier, but I already talked about that. I don't think we have anything else. Yeah, okay, great. Let's bring on another guest. Yo Blitz, what's up, Catman? What's the story behind a lava lamp? Look, the lava lamp, you know how it said, let there be light? So the light was the lava lamp. You can see this, you can read about this in Leviticus or in Lamentations, or in the Gospel of Matthew. See, when you buy a lava lamp, until you say the ritual phrases, it's just wax. But after you say the ritual phrases, the wax transubstantiates into lava. Anyway, let's bring up another guest. Let's talk to Judge. Catman's not in the guest box. I'm a cat man. All right, Judge isn't coming up. All right, what about question mark? Question mark, how's it going?
Pretty good.
Glad to hear it, question mark. What shape do you think the Earth is?
Flat.
Okay, why so?
Wait, hold. No, my bad. I meant to say the Earth's a globe. I just said Marky is a moron. Sorry.
Okay. Rude. Let's bring up Judge again. Judge, how's it going?
Hey,
Judge?
how's it going, man?
I'm doing okay.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
Great. You're good.
Yeah, I actually worked on Landsat 7. Are you familiar with it?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, Lockheed Martin. We did it. It's a satellite goes around the planet.
So I take it you don't think the Earth is flat, right?
Well, I wanted to come up because being a Christian, I don't. You got a lot of patience, man. You got a lot of dude. You are now my new favorite morning show because I am disappointed. I am disappointed in these people coming up here. Have you ever tried the skyscraper reductio with these people? Have you ever tried that one? You know the one I'm
There's
talking
a
about?
lot. Are you talking about the one about how you can measure the angles vertical from plumb?
No.
Which one are you talking about?
This is how you talk baby talk to people that don't understand.
Are you talking about the one where if you're higher up, the sunset happens later?
Yeah. You just get 100 friends.
Yeah,
or
they
even
don't
5
understand
friends.
that. They don't understand it.
Really?
Yeah, really.
That's actually how I convinced my cousin, who is hardcore flat earther. I said, dude, let's go downtown. So we got like 5 friends. I'm like, we'll put one at the bottom, one in the middle, one at the top. If it's flat, everybody will call you at the same time because it's flat. But
yeah, so there's it depends on how deep in the flat Earth they are. Sometimes that'll work, but then you can just talk about why sunsets happen in the first place. But look, Judge, I'm gonna let you go because they'll say opposition only. But thank you for being here. All right, let's talk to Nicholas. Nicholas, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Nicholas, what shape do you think the Earth is?
It's oval, but it's flat.
Oval but flat.
Oval but flat.
What does that mean?
It's oval shaped but flat. So instead of a circle that's flat, it's an oval that's flat.
Okay. Why do you think it's flat?
What?
Where'd he go?
Hello?
Welcome back.
Oh, sorry about that. So why do I think it's flat?
Yeah.
I think that the burden of proof is on the round earthers, because you see, you got to prove that. You got to prove that this water is just sticking to a giant sphere.
Yeah. Okay. Let me satisfy my burden of proof really quick, and then, and then the burden of proof will be on you to show that it's flat, right? So one sec. Let me just pull something up. Here we go. All right, ready? Here we go. This is a video taken by the Galileo probe in 1990.
Isn't the Galileo probe government owned?
Yeah, it's irrelevant. I'm still satisfying my burden of proof. This is evidence. Okay, so now where's your evidence that the Earth is flat?
Lied about it, for sure.
So where's your evidence that the Earth is flat?
Yeah, so the government, well, let's start here. The government wants you to think that the Earth is a circle because they're trying to hide. They're trying to hide it to keep us under control.
So where's the evidence that the Earth is flat?
I mean, I think evidence is all around you. You look around, it's just flat everywhere.
So because it looks flat, that makes it flat?
That ain't the only thing. That ain't the only thing. It's got a lot more to do with it too. In that the fact that, we talk about water sticking to a ball. If you do me a favor, all right? Put your hand up vertically and pour water on it. It ain't gonna just stick to your hand.
Can I show you something?
Let's go for it.
Here. Pull up the video. Do it again. I should just favorite this or something. Because I end up, it's the same video every single time. This is a friend of mine. He goes by Globy McGlobeface. This is a water, just like a ball, and it has like some stuff stuck to it for the land. It's a ball, it's spinning, and it has water to it. And we can actually see, he's gonna take the ball. This is what the ball looks like when it's dry, by the way. It looks matte,
Okay.
Let me make this a little bit bigger. Yeah, take his ball. Sorry, let me skip forward to where he actually does the thing. Oh no, it's earlier. I'm sorry. Same ball though, right? Like we understand that. So he's gonna take a paper towel and stick it to the ball, and look, it's getting wet.
Okay.
So why is the water sticking to the ball if it's spinning? So here's it spinning. It stops spinning.
I see it. So is just to clarify, I don't want to straw man your argument or anything. Are we saying that the Earth spinning keeps the water there, or that gravity keeps
it there? Gravity keeps the water there. I'm just showing that water can stick to a gravity.
That water can stick to gravity?
Sorry, I misspoke. Water can stick to a ball even if it's spinning.
But that ball ain't got the gravity.
No, there's a different force keeping the water attached to that ball. In that case, it's adhesion and surface tension.
Well, then what's that got to do with the
It's an example of how water can stick to a ball. As long as there's a force keeping the water stuck to the ball, it can stick.
Yeah, but in this case, the force would have to be something different. I mean, I could...
Yeah,
look,
the force is gravity. In the case of the Earth, the case is gravity, or the force is gravity.
I could grab a quarter and hold it up to my head and press it on there and say, boom, a quarter can stick to a head. But the moment I let go, the quarter's going to fall. All right? So
we have gravity, and that's what keeps the water stuck to the Earth. To the Earth.
So you think it's gravity?
Yep.
Okay, so and here's the deal with the gravity, all right? Is that you know the acceleration of gravity, right? 9.81 meters per second.
It's 9.81 meters per second squared, but yes.
Well, you know what I meant. I mean, we can get into the Dewey Decimal System all day. But, so, anyways, let's say I stood at the top of a building, all right? And I grabbed water, and I dropped it onto the Earth. It's going to splash up. It ain't going to just stick.
Well, and it'll splash up, and then it'll fall back down again, right?
Yep, because that's
of the gravity. Because of the gravity. Why does it fall down?
Because if I threw it against the side of the building, it just fall right off.
Yeah, it falls down because of gravity.
And about this gravity, who discovered gravity?
I mean, it depends on what you mean. Like the way that
who figured out how it works? Who was the monumental?
Arguably Galileo and Newton.
Yeah, arguable. That's the consensus.
Yeah, those are like probably the first people that we can have documentation doing this. Yeah.
They were plants, all right, especially Newton.
This is a troll, right?
Yeah, I'm just messing with you, man.
Get the fuck out of here! Don't waste my time ever again. Actually, mods ban him. His name is Nicholas. Mods ban him. It was funny though. It was definitely funny. The Dewey Decimal System bit was really funny, but you know.
Hello. The number you dialed is unavailable.
Gorgeous Joe, how's it going?
Good, I'm good. Hey,
Glad
I got
to hear
a
it.
question. Yeah, I got
sure.
a question. I was just listening to the last guy. I know he was a little mod or whatever, but I wanted to ask, since you said that the Earth is round, right, as a sphere. Do we have any actual footage that a rocket with a camera leaves from our surface Earth, leaves out of our atmosphere into space, and then proceeds to record?
We have examples of this. Basically, it's how space is 60 miles up?
Yeah.
Depends on where. I mean, like it's kind of an arbitrary defining line, but yes, we do, and I can show you. Okay. So this is a private rocket launch, by the way. It's just like a hobbyist. It's not like a company or anything. Move it around, get it visible. It's done by a guy named Kip Dalgirdis. I don't know how to say his last name. The rocket is called Mesos, MESOS. And it goes 300,000 feet up in the air. So it's like a whole, like, you know, they're doing like a whole building of, you know, all that lovely stuff. But the relevant part is that there is a launch from the ground. So let me show you. So here is, let me just go back a few moments. So here's a video of the launch from the ground, right? So here's it launching. It's just it's a small little thing, right? Let me speed it up really quick. It's a small little thing. They have a whole bunch of different angles. There's the launch. You can see that, like, it's actually a rocket that actually launched, right? And there it goes up. And then they shift to the perspective of the rocket. So here, this is the rocket that's on the second stage.
Okay.
So it's going up. It's starting to spin because that's the kind of rocket it is.
Yeah.
And it basically just goes up for a good while. Let me take you all the way up to when it gets to its peak of 300,000 feet, I think. Where is it? So here it's at 250,000 feet. At one point it'll say, oh, hey, look, there's some nice, sorry, I skipped a little bit. Why is it skipping at 10 seconds at a time?
Yeah, because I always
Here we
see
go,
when it gets
apogee.
to like a
Here we
certain
go.
point of a video.
300,000. So here's that. So they just deployed the parachute at 300,000 feet up. Would you look at that?
Yeah, see, now that's why I always have
Curvature.
the issue. But is it the lens that's actually showing that curvature?
No. In particular, they used, very specifically, they used a rectilinear lens on their, in fact, they even mentioned it in the description. They say they used, this rocket flew with 2 GoPro Hero 9s with modified rectilinear lenses. You can't see this, sorry. A rectilinear lens is precisely the kind of lens that does away with barrel distortion. This is the kind of fisheye lens effect that you're thinking of.
Yeah.
So they specifically designed their rocket, or they specifically used cameras with specifically modified lenses to avoid any sort of fisheye lens effect.
Okay. Because I always wondered that because I never had a steady view. There's always some type of spinning action going on. But then when we watch like the satellites view of like NASA satellites or whomever, they have a specific spot, non-moving, and it's showing the whole globe of the Earth. But when we ever see one like that video you just showed me, it's
I just showed it to you.
a steady. No, I know. That's what I'm saying. The one that you just showed me, it's not a steady camera. You have to freeze frame it, and then you're gonna see.
It's because it's
whatever.
moving, right? It's moving,
No,
so of course it's not going to be steady.
But that's
like,
what I'm trying to
look,
say.
so
Like,
the International Space Station has a 24/7 live camera.
yes, and I've
attached to it.
I've watched those videos as well, where the camera is actually attached to the rocket, and you see the booster.
They're not. This is the International Space Station. It's not attached to the rocket.
This
is in space. It's just orbiting, and like depending on what time of day, like sometimes it'll be dark, sometimes it'll be pointed in the wrong direction. But like depending on which, because there's a few of them that are 24/7 live stream. But like here's an example of one.
But that's a fixed camera. That's what I was saying. This one here will be
it's a fixed camera attached to the International Space Station. It's not spinning because it's in orbit, right?
No, I get that. I'm trying to say I agree with those points that you're saying, but what I'm saying is we don't have a steady camera, right? Like from back in the day when we used to use the Odyssey. When the Odyssey left, no. I'm talking about from ground, from the launch to outer space, a steady film. That's all I'm saying. Just steady film, not one that's spinning from those, the smaller rockets. Talking about like the SpaceX rocket, any of those, they have cameras.
I think we actually have those. I think we actually have video of
but
those.
then they cut out. If you ever watch the whole video, they'll cut out. They never show when they get all the way into space. And that's where I'm confused at.
So it depends on which. I mean, like there are times where it will cut out because the rocket is now on the other side of the Earth, so they have to connect to a different connection point back on Earth, right?
Okay.
And there are also times where, depending on how high you're going, you have to switch cameras because maybe your camera is initially on the outside of the first booster, but then the booster,
so it drops with the stage.
It drops away, and then they have to switch to another camera to keep going. So like there are reasons why this happens, but there are so many of these, so many videos of this that it just makes me think like, there would have to be a lot of work done to perfectly fake it by just like a single cut, right?
And I get you. I'm not trying to say they are, but I'm just saying that those are the indiscrepancies that I see with the videos that I've seen. That
Unfortunately, I've now shown you a video from a private person. It's just like an amateur rocket launch who sent his rocket up 300,000 feet into the air.
But we've seen those with weather balloons. I've seen that with the weather balloons as well.
Well, I mean, but this is a rocket launch to which is
I
to
get
space,
what
right?
you're saying. I'm just talking about getting into space, which the weather balloon does.
Well, weather balloons. I don't think weather balloons get to space, but and so now we have. So I gave you what you asked for, right?
I guess. I mean, I guess, but I just wanted you to see the indiscrepancies that that goes on. But you did give me what I asked for.
Okay. Yeah. So is there anything else that you want to talk about?
No, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Keep going, man. Go with the next guy. I want to keep watching.
All right. Well, thanks so much for being here, Joe. I don't know why I can't talk sometimes. My mouth moves faster than my brain sometimes. We actually, do we have time for one more? Let's talk to Ty Warden for a little bit. Ty Warden, how's it going?
It's going good. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Ty, what shape do you think the Earth is?
I think it's flat.
Okay, and why so?
Well, you done something very specific. You showed that amateur rocket just take off,
mm-hmm.
and how fast it got from point A to point B.
Mm-hmm.
If you compare that to NASA's rocket launches, do you notice anything different?
Yeah, NASA's rockets have lower initial acceleration.
But how fast do they have to be in order to enter or exit the atmosphere, I should say? They're going.
There's not a certain speed you have to go. You just have to, like, if you want a certain speed to orbit the Earth, you have to be going pretty fast, yeah. But just to exit the atmosphere, you could imagine just having like constant, like a rocket that just constantly takes you up at like 1 mile an hour, and eventually you'd escape, right? It would just take a lot of fuel.
Yeah, it just looks totally. I mean, that little bitty rocket, it just shoots up so fast.
So there's a reason. So for what it's worth, there's a reason why this is done. For efficiency's sake, it actually makes more sense to accelerate only at roughly 70%, 60 to 70% of G. So think about how fast something falls. Go up at like 60 to 70% at that rate, accelerate at that rate. That's like the most efficient rate that it's like around there. And you can do the math on this. This is like the most efficient way to actually launch into the atmosphere or into orbit rather. And there's reasons for this. It's because you're fighting gravity and there's drag, and you want to be at a certain height before you're going too fast, because otherwise you'll encounter too much air resistance. There's like reasons for this. This tiny rocket, because they weren't worried about efficiency, because it's a tiny rocket, you don't need that much fuel to go very fast or very high. They weren't really all that concerned about that. So the reason why these giant rockets do this is because it is more efficient.
I understand what you're saying.
So why do you think the Earth is flat?
Why? Oh, just from observation. I mean,
what kind of observations?
Oh, just the fact that our sky doesn't change. We're supposedly, spinning.
Sky doesn't change?
I mean, it doesn't spin like what you would think it would.
What would you think it would look like?
Oh, I think we would feel some motion. Absolutely.
Well, but hold on.
And then,
now I'm confused. I thought you were talking about what it would look like, not what you would feel.
Well, you see observation. You look and you can see the Earth, and you can see for quite a long distance. And if it's curving in every direction. Correct?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
So hold on. Are we moving away from like the sky?
No.
Because you said that like something about how the sky and stars or something like this. Do you not want to talk about that?
Well, I mean, we see the same stars over and over.
No, we don't.
The North Star, it hasn't moved. That you would think that star would move.
Are you familiar? Well, it does move a little bit. We have record of it moving. It moves, a little bit over the course of many years, right? But surely you understand that, like, in June you can't see the constellation Cancer, whereas in December you can. So that it sounds like that's an example of us not seeing the same stars every night.
Well, you're talking about the pattern, the way the stars move. I'm not real familiar with exactly how they move, but
I'm talking about the constellations. So we can see the constellations. The constellations change depending on what time of year it is.
But they
because
come
we're
back
on a
to the
different
same.
side of the sun.
But they come back to the same.
Yeah. Although like we do see them moving over time. I can show you something that you might find interesting. Where is it? Barnard star. That 11:15. So here's 3 different photos across 50 years. I don't know if you can see this. I don't know if it's big enough.
Yeah.
So on the left we have, so the star is called Barnard star. It's a particularly close star. It's also moving really fast. So this is its location right there in 1950. And notice this little triangle-ish shape of stars. Notice how it's like to the left of it and then below it, right? So there's the triangle shape of stars and then there's Barnard star right there. Now that same star, 47 years later, is over here. Now it's above and to the left, this triangle shape of stars. And the year after that, it was, well, it moved ever so slightly more. And I can show you a different chunk of the same, like you can even see explicit motion between, like this is 61 Cygni. It also moves very fast. And so we can actually see its motion year over year. So I wish I could zoom this in, but this is over the course of single years. See how it's moving? See how this pair of stars are moving ever so slightly? This is 2012, 2013, 14, 15, 16, and 17. And then 18, 19, 20, and then it's back to 2012. So like we can see the stars moving. They just move slowly.
I got you. I understand.
So, I mean, like, it's just not the case that the stars don't move. They do. It's just slow.
It's really hard for me to comprehend the fact that the Earth is a ball that's spinning, rotating around the sun, going through the galaxy, and us not feeling any type of motion.
Well, look,
whatsoever.
When you're so like, have you ever been on like a long distance train?
Yeah.
So
Not
like
super long, but yeah.
I mean, like what you can feel, like especially if you're on like a high speed train, what you can feel is like the train shaking, but you don't feel the train moving forward, right? Similarly, when you're on a plane, you feel the turbulence, which is what happens when the plane shakes, but you don't feel the plane going at 500 miles an hour. You can only feel acceleration. And acceleration from like the rotation of the Earth or from the orbit of the Earth, these are all tiny. They're incomprehensibly small compared to what you're able to feel. Like the rotation, the Earth rotates so slowly. It rotates twice as slowly, or at half the speed of the hour hand on a clock, right? It makes one full rotation in 24 hours. That's really, really slow. You think that you would feel that?
Between that and the combination of us going around the sun and traveling through the galaxy, I would think you would feel something.
That acceleration is even smaller. Like we could work out the math. The acceleration is enormously tiny. It just is, because so when you're going in a circle, the way that you calculate the acceleration is you take the speed, you multiply it by itself, and then you divide by the distance, like the size of the circle. That will give you the acceleration. And it's like it is infinitesimally small. By the way, there's also a separate thing for the chatters, for the commenters, for the watchers. You wouldn't actually feel it even if the acceleration was supposed to be big, because general relativity says g, d6 are in free fall, so you don't feel free fall. But anyway, even if we just take Newtonian gravity, it would be really, really tiny. You wouldn't notice it. You could just calculate it. It'd be too small for our human senses to pick up. Because our human senses are limited, right?
Sure.
So
absolutely.
Look, I mean, the point is that, yes, we are traveling through space at enormous speeds, but we don't feel speed. We feel changes in speed. We feel changes in direction. We never feel speed itself.
I understand what you're saying. It's still hard for me to believe it, though.
Okay.
It's really hard. I mean, we all have our own belief, and you would think by now somebody would come up with a way to actually prove indefinitely, without a shadow of a doubt, that the Earth is a ball or is flat.
Look, so here's the thing. We can, But it requires actually either A, believing pictures, which we have plenty of, or B, knowing a little bit of math. Like knowing, like, you know, having been good enough at math to like get a B in trigonometry in high school. And like that's just not true for a lot of people. Like, I don't know, like how good's your trigonometry?
Oh, it's horrible now. I got lazy.
Sure. So like the way that we can do this is like we can for example make measurements of the locations of stars, and then you know, if you assume the Earth is flat or if you assume the Earth is a sphere, you can see what should we expect using those measurements and using trigonometry. We can also do the same thing for like the lengths of shadows. Like if you stick a stick in the ground, how long should the shadows be based off of what time it is? Again, we can use trigonometry to figure these things out, but in order to understand that this is like definitive proof, you need to be able to follow the trigonometry. Otherwise, it just seems like it's just complicated math that, like, you know, then some smarty pants says that it's proof, right?
Yeah, but there again, I mean, wouldn't your trig work on it could work on a flat or
it doesn't work,
radius?
No. Like, so I can just give you an example, and it's not even that complicated trigonometry. On a flat Earth, if Polaris is directly above the center of the flat Earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so pointing north means pointing at Polaris. Then you can figure out what angle it's at given how far away you are from the center, right? And so just if you just go look at it, if you just go like use a GPS, every 1 degree further south you go, like, you know, latitude, not like on a sphere, but like every 1 degree latitude you go further south, you have to go about 69 miles, right? And so what you can do is you can just draw a diagram, assume the Earth is flat, draw a diagram of what angle you should see the North Star at as you drive further and further south. And what you'll find is that what you actually see in the sky doesn't match with what the flat Earth says you should see. Like the trigonometry just doesn't work.
Okay.
And so there's something wrong there. And, you know, but that's just not going to be convincing to people who just haven't practiced their trigonometry in a long time, right?
Right. Correct.
But look, so Ty Warden, I'm going to let you go. It sounds like you have to go too. But thank you so much for being here, okay? Have a good one.
Yeah, appreciate it. You too.
All right, y'all. So I'm going to read some super chats, and then we will have then we'll call it there. So we have 2 Canuck bucks from 404 user not found. It's opposition only, but will you allow apposition? No. Funny though. And we have $5 from Garain. You can't feel acceleration either. You feel the force of the seat pushing on you. If you're in free fall, you don't feel anything, but you are accelerating. Garain, here's the mistake that I was alleging at, or I was alluding to. So no. The reason you don't feel anything in free fall is because in that case, you're actually not accelerating through space-time. And that's what you feel. You feel deviations from straight trajectories in space-time. A straight trajectory is what we mean by constant motion. And if you deviate from a straight trajectory, then that's what acceleration is. But if you're not deviating from it, like in free fall, you don't feel it. You're technically not accelerating. It's just relative to the Earth, you are accelerating. But that's because the surface of the Earth is accelerating. The surface of the Earth is not, it is deviating from a straight trajectory in space-time. But no, if you're genuinely accelerating, you would feel it. You would pick it up with your ears. It doesn't require a chair or anything like this. From Literally Lou with the 10 Australian dollars. Thank you so much, Lou. Can someone legit tell me why everyone would be lying about the Earth's shape? Like, what's the point? Even if it was flat, what does that mean for these people? So look, there's a few things here. The first thing, sometimes it's just a religious thing, right? Sometimes it's just, oh, well, the Bible says it's flat, and NASA wants to hide God from us, so they're going to lie to us about the globe, because they don't want us to believe in God because they're run by Satan. Something like that. However, the second explanation that people often give is that the Earth is flat, but it's infinite, and we are just constrained by the ice wall. And if NASA told us that the Earth was flat and that there is more land beyond the ice wall, then we wouldn't be worried about trying to buy land in the United States. We wouldn't be fighting each other for resources and for food and for land, because there's just infinite land out there. And so they're trying to keep us constrained by the system. That's the other alternative explanation. From Solar Lion with the almost 3 Canuck bucks. Thank you, Solar Lion. Hope you had a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Likewise, Solar Lion. I appreciate that. All right, y'all. Just going to double check on Cash App or things like this. I always miss those, and I always feel bad about it. Looks like we have nothing extra coming through on Cash App or on anything else. So, y'all, I'm going to end the live here, and I will see you guys tomorrow for Ask a Physicist. Remember to come on by, bring your questions, and